When I ask anybody fashion industry in Nigeria, they'll look at the fashion designers that do the fashion shows. Now, there are the other guys, they are the tailors who do not do the fashion show. Those guys are more than the designers.
Wait, break that down.
For every design you drop, there are 10 people copying you. Low quality, fast turnaround, low prices. You will make more money than 3 of me together.
Mai Atafo. Through Atafo, he didn't just build a fashion house. He built a standard. What African luxury could feel like. And what it meant to wear confidence as deliberately as a well-cut suit.
2023, I did a show in the Coke Hotel. 800 people sitting exclusively front row. We had 50 models. We showcased 80-something pieces. It was huge. I got interviewed by the New York Times when they saw what was happening in the show. By every standard, easily one of the biggest shows that's ever happened in the continent. The next year, in 2024, I had a presentation in Ikoyi. Paying customers were all I invited by email that day. We might have made an excess of 20 million naira. The other one, I ain't make a dime.
On this episode of the Afropolitan Podcast, we sit with designer, entrepreneur, and cultural tastemaker, Mai Atafo, to talk about craftsmanship, reinvention, and the art of building a timeless brand.
Lay out the fashion industry, like as it is today. What are people not seeing? Whew.
Okay, I will speak for me.
You want to kick it off?
You kick it off.
Okay, cool. Ready? We just... Okay.
You want me to start?
No, I got it. Don't worry. We just crossed 50,000 subscribers. I'm personally amazed of the... Okay, you kick it off. It's okay. I'll banter. It's long. All right. So let's do it. Let's do it. I just
Quick one. Before we get back into Afropolitan Podcast, we have to celebrate a major milestone. How many people did we just hit?
50,000.
50,000 subscribers. Every week, people tune in for over an hour podcast talking about African excellence and Black thought leadership. What does that mean for our people?
Honestly, one of the messages I got was from a young man based in Senegal who's basically saying, look, the stories you tell on Afropolitan have helped me, keep inspiring me to build for the continent, right? And it's things like that that keep motivating us to keep going because everyone gives us the feedback that these stories are important.
And we did it under just 1 year. And one of the key things about hitting 50,000 is something me and Eche discussed is that we are now launching the Patreon membership. This is where you get closer to us. This is where you get the inside scoop. This is where you get behind the scenes, the deep cuts, the conversations that we have with the guests before we have the actual conversation. And we are so excited for each and every one of you to be joining the Patreon, learn our workflows, learn our business, get a chance to talk to us. And you're going to be able to subscribe to Patreon. Just click the link in the description and join the Afropolitan family.
And the best part of it too, from my perspective, is you get to go deeper with the show, right? So you're already in tune with the show, but you get to now suggest to us topics, suggest to us questions, and we can now feed that to the guests that we have. So subscribe to our Patreon below. And
if you are not a subscriber, if you're not part of the 50,000, make sure you subscribe. Click. So someone's going to click your specific video and they're going to be most likely winding down from a long day. Maybe they're on the way to work, or maybe they're doing a quick workout. So the first thing I want you to tell our audience is a common myth about building a business in Nigeria. And I know you've been doing it for a long time, you have a lot of war stories to tell us.
Building a business in Nigeria. The one thing I'll say that it's very hard. Yeah, it goes beyond say. I think it's very, very hard. And we hear a lot of people always say, spend all this time helping someone else's business. Why don't you do it for yourself?
Yeah.
But to be honest, as Nigerians, we do not come from a backdrop of entrepreneurs.
Explain.
Years ago, we knew who the big entrepreneurs were in this country, the businessmen. We knew that, Chief Nwayan was a businessman. We knew that El Kanemi was a businessman. We knew NASCO was a company. We knew the people behind those things. But was not a lot of people. First, I think one of the earliest commercial airlines was Okada Air by Benedion. We knew he was a businessman. He had Canada Dry, licensing and stuff. But we didn't have a lot of these things owned by Nigerians and everyone. That's why those guys were key and they were known, because they did things that were not conventional, because there was no school teaching entrepreneurship.
There's no MBA.
Yeah.
So like entrepreneurship as a course is not one that is, if you go check Nigerian universities, you don't see it like flying. So where do you want them to learn these things? I know we have our way of learning things as Africans, and we have become successful businessmen from doing the 1 + 1 = 2 and move up and build things. But at the point in time, as it goes bigger, you can't keep running it like a community business. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like we really do not have the backdrop to do what we're asking everyone to do.
Yeah. And it's interesting you say that, because when we speak to a lot of people on this podcast, they're always saying there's not enough case studies. There's not enough people that are way ahead of them that they can learn from. So actually what you're saying tracks. And I think I want to now go into, because, there's many conversations we've had, right? Many, many conversations. So I want to understand, lay out the fashion industry, as it is today. What are people not seeing? Because I think there's a lot of conversations around the glitz, the glamour. Oh, Nigerian fashion culture is exploding. It's everywhere. But I think you do a good job of grounding it in here is the reality.
Yeah.
Right. So I want you to lay that framework for us first.
Okay. Within my understanding.
Yes.
My understanding. I think that when we look at the fashion industry, and when I ask anybody fashion industry in Nigeria, they'll look at us, the fashion designers that do the fashion shows, right? Okay. Now, there are the other guys, they are the tailors who do not do the fashion shows, who you call when you want a quick fix, you want a quick kaftan. There's a guy in Obalende. There's somebody knows that is a tailor. Those guys are more than the designers. So they're generally putting in more volume than the designers. Interesting. That means their side of the market is bigger than the size of the market that we look at as designers. Just from that simple analysis. If we do a census in this room and ask everybody, who's your tailor? I'll be very, very certain that we will not call the same tailor. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? That means that thing is big, and that thing is as big as Ashoebi. There is a party every weekend. Who is making the buba and wrapper? I'm not saying who is making the beaded corset dresses. I'm saying who is making the buba and wrapper, right? That is fashion beyond the one that is the top tier. Now, in the top tier, you have some people that are tailors that are making probably more money than the fashion designers on the runway shows. I always give a good example of the Kaftan tailors in Abuja. The Vodis, the Afrikaners, the Boliwe Brands, the Baldons, the Resurrection. I'm very sure you don't even know half of the names that I'm calling.
No, I'm like, who?
Right? Great. But those guys make kaftans and agbada. Now, in the north, from what I observe, when a northerner goes to work, he's wearing a kaftan. When he comes back, he changes to another kaftan. If he has to go for a party, he wears another kaftan. Their dress down is not a t-shirt and jeans like it is in the South. So his wardrobe is full, and he understands that this is something that I need. And this is where I'll get it from. So he will pay a premium for the kaftan. But in the South, we wouldn't do that because we have a guy. Right? Now, that market and the demand, even the population of the north is more, right? And when you look at what these guys are feeding them, it's just that. So they're making more money than we are making, called the designers. That is the fashion industry. Now, there's another set that look at these designers and their job is to copy. Now, that parallel copying market is as big, I would say it's even bigger than the designers on the runway. Because for every design you drop, there are 10 people copying you. Right? And that exists. And they do not fall into the bare tailors. They sit kind of like above the tailors. They use those tailors to deliver on the premise. I keep telling people this, even your tailor that you have is not the best tailor in Lagos. So there's somebody that can look at that thing and make a better version of it than you have made in your own fashion house. So when you come to me as a fashion designer, you're not paying for design alone. You're paying for many other things. You're paying for comfort. You're paying for the promise that when I say this, that I'm giving you that day. So when people do things like what I ordered versus what I got, it's like, where did you order what you got from? Did you order it from where you saw it, or you ordered it from someone else? You ordered it from someone else and you got what you got. You understand what I mean? So like people always say, you do not pay for the service. You're paying for years of experience. You're paying for all that kind of things. So we have that market now. Now, moving away from that, when we say we're going to buy fabrics, we take Balogun market, Teji Osho market, right? Great. That is fashion. Who goes to that market? Who patronizes that market? I'll give you a good example of how I normally put my thoughts together. There's a fabric that we use. It's called cashmere.
Yeah.
On the average, I'll tell you 5-star, 7-star, because the number of stars that is written on the bottom strip of the fabric, right? You see the stars and stuff. And we buy this fabric to make things. And it was reasonably good quality many years ago, 5-7 years ago. It was great. And you had the price point. You knew the price point. Everybody knew what 5-star cost, what 7-star cost. Then the dollar starts to misbehave. Then the price starts to go. When I started business, I think the 5-star was sold for like $450 or $600 if I'm not wrong. Right now, I think that 5-star is about 12,000 naira for a yard.
12,000
Yes.
naira for one,
Yard.
just
Yeah. And my own thing is, from the time that I have been in business, I have experienced this pricing, right? Now, if you buy it at the current price, you most likely will go back home with a fabric that you do not understand.
Well,
It's
explain.
not the same quality.
It's not the same level.
Yeah. Now, I always try to find out, why is the quality changed? And when I look in perspective, when I go to my dealer in Balogun Market, when I sit in his shop, right, a bundle of fabric is probably 100 meters, right? This whole house would be filled with fabric, with only a pathway for you to walk past. And the fabrics will be stacked on top of each other to the roof. And then we have 4 like that. So I'm trying to just get an idea of how much money this man is holding down. Okay? And it's not the only one. There are probably like 5-6 top dealers like that. Now, if that guy goes to China or goes to Turkey and sits with the manufacturer because he's buying 1 million meters and say, listen, touch it up. I can't pay you this because I do not have the dollar to pay you. So I want the same 1 million, but I want to pay the same amount of money. What would the manufacturer do?
It'll reduce the quality.
Because my customer is telling me this is what I want. I'm going to give you what you want. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And when he sells it to you, you bring it to Nigeria and sell.
So there's no room for them to pass the prices on while maintaining the quality?
Nobody's going to buy it.
No one's going to buy it, okay.
People are complaining already.
Because they're complaining. So I would afford it,
Yeah.
but I am 0.02% of the total people that come to buy from him. So I'll buy 1 bundle from him. But the small guys that will buy, so 1 bundle is like 100 meters, right? The small guy that will buy 4 yards, 4, 100 of them will come. If they buy 4, they bought more than me already. That's 400. So he will want to service that market, which makes sense because he's a businessman. Do you get what I mean? So he will do that. So right now, if you come to me and you say, I want to make a kaftan, and I need 4 meters to make your kaftan, I have to order it from overseas.
Wow. To get the quality.
Yes. So if I'm ordering just 4 meters, then there's a shipping cost. There's a clearing cost. So you ask, why Nigerian designers are expensive? There you go. This is not even talking about, I mean, Bank Eco Cruise here. Let's not get into power and all that, that shenanigans, right?
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying by minimum. Now, if you're buying a low quality stuff, then it should be cheap. I mean, we can judge craftsmanship to a point on the other point, right? But that's what it is. So when you talk about this, look at a taste of the market, right? That's the market. But there's still people that do ready to wear in the market that just make clothes like the Zephyrs and Co. And you have it on the rack and you buy. And there are more brands like that are doing that. So they use what is available. I'm not even of the time because I know in Kiru. And out of this country, the only place I've met her was in China. We bumped into her. I was like, hey.
Really?
What's
China?
up? You're right here? Oh, yeah. This is years ago. I'm like, oh, cool. Because I've known Nkiru forever.
Yeah.
And we go to the market together and I'm buying stuff here. Look at me, goes like, man, I can't buy this thing. I'm like, why? It's good quality. He said the price will be, my people can't afford to pay. And she would love the fabric. I could just see that she was loving the fabric, but she was doing her math, and the math wasn't mathing. Then she would go, okay, I'll buy this one, but I'll send it by sea.
So it'll take months to get there.
Then it'll be cheaper. Right? But I was doing by air, and I get mine quickly. But she was doing her math and realizing, no, I can't do this. So she was already doing her math, even though she was in China. She was the same person that told me she would do GT. I think she told me she'd do GT. I was Ozena told me she'd do GT Fashion Weekend. And like, everything has to be below 30K, 35K.
Interesting.
If you go above that, you're not going to sell anything.
Even today.
And now the price
of course, relative.
Yeah. But you see, GT Fashion Weekend is for everybody and anybody.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've seen my Get Money GT Fashion Weekend before.
Really?
Oh, yeah, because it's free access. Anybody can go there. Do you know what I mean? Because it's the retail space is for anyone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Before the fashion show, they used to make it a bit exclusive. But now, if you stand long enough in the queue, you will get in. Right? So that is like literally adulterated the whole thing. So if I go there, so who are you really selling to at the GT Fashion Weekend?
Yeah.
All right? It has to be affordable. You know, first and only time I did the retail part of GT, I went there with my white shirts, you know. I thought I was selling white shirts for 15K because we sold maybe 10.
You did, so you couldn't even sell?
No. For the people that go there to purchase, no. So it's now a case of the market is very fragmented, and for you to understand it, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of money in the fashion industry. But you have to pick your struggle. Low quality, fast turnaround, low prices. You will make more money than three of me together. Because customers will buy it and go like, oh, the tailoring wasn't good, but it was cheap. And they'll buy it. Many, and I look at things from different perspectives. Like, so I look at some people that call brands. I go like, I'm wearing this brand, I'm wearing this brand. Like, if you really were buying the brand because you really love the garment, put your hand up. Not because you're trying to join the trend of people calling this brand's name. Not because you got it for free. If you're putting your dollar behind it, will you actually make that video? And that's not just to Nigeria. Same people that buy Fashion Nova and Shein and all that.
Yeah.
Like, if you really, would you do that?
I want you to walk us through how you arrived at your own market segmentation. And I know you had a background at Guinness, and you've been a senior brand manager and brand marketer. And you've also said that it's almost the same thing that you're doing in fashion, right? So I think for our audience, we always like to break things down into frameworks. Can you break down what were some of the frameworks you understood from a brand marketing perspective at Guinness and Diageo that you were able to then translate into the business of fashion?
Okay, great. So start like, you asked like three questions.
Yes.
But I'll take it one. If I forget anyone, just remind me.
Don't worry.
So in terms of what I learned in Guinness, I put in my business, which, to be honest, I think I'm doing a very terrible job at what I learned at Guinness and putting in my business. I think I'm doing a terrible job because I'm chasing day to day and I'm not doing a lot of strategy that will give me what I want. But I'll tell you the big ones. The big one is that when I say it's the same thing, is the product that changed. Everything is the same. I was selling alcoholic beverage, now I'm selling clothes. Every other thing is the same thing. Right? I mean, I don't have the Guinness budget. Guinness budget. What a good budget to throw around. I have zero. Right? But the marketing is pretty much the same principles. Like, and I'll go on to say, I've sat down on the same table with my Academic guy, and when he talks about the business he's doing, he's using the same layman terms that I'm talking about, the same one people use on the street, but he's taking bigger risks because he has bigger capital to take the risk.
Yeah.
Right? So, and I'll give a practical example of that. In Guinness, we sell through distributors. Distributors sell to the retailers, right? So distributors were like wholesalers sell to the retailers, right? Or distributors, wholesalers, and retailers. And we knew our top distributors. So if something wasn't happening, we asked them what's going on. They'll tell you, oh, this guy is not buying because you're not doing something at the end. They knew the market maybe more than we did. They knew what pushed things, They knew, behaviors and seasonalities a lot more than we did because they were on ground, And what I learned was that away from human behavior when it comes to consumption of the drinks, there was also occasions. So we say, drink one beer every evening, you'll be fine. 1759, go to Dubai, enjoy your life. You've worked hard, blah, blah, blah. So that's a reward. So you had people that would drink one beer every single day. They were loyal. Nothing would shake them. They would drink that brand every day. Minimum one. We love those guys, right? There were the other guys that would drink it every other day. So they were occasional drinkers. There were the other guys that would maybe once a week. They had it in their repertoire. So they were repertoire drinkers. And this is a funnel that they taught us in Guinness. So it's not generic.
Interesting.
Right? It was called the consumer disposition funnel. So you had those guys, So it was a breakdown. Sorry, it was regular. Occasional were the ones that drank it once every now and then. Yeah. So regular was the ones that would drink it, but not every day. Loyal were the ones that would drink it every single day. But away from this human behavior, there were occasions that they would behave differently. And the occasions were birthdays, weddings, and all that. Now, when you track sales by occasion and by human behavior, you realize that the occasions were huge in terms of sales. And the human behavior changed at occasions. Because all of a sudden, I drink a lower beer, but when I get to a wedding, I want to drink a Heineken. Because I'm not paying for it. Right. Now, the customer is a person buying. The consumer is a person consuming. Sometimes they are different. At a wedding, the customer buys. So whoever is doing the wedding is one purchasing. Right. But you cannot track his behavior because behavior changes tomorrow. He's not getting married tomorrow. So you won't see him. But there's somebody called groom that is going to spend money again. So when we realized that in Guinness was that weddings was a big thing. And I applied that to my business. I realized I was doing things for weddings without really knowing I was doing things for weddings. And when I looked at where the money was coming from, this thing about wedding. I launched a wedding line called Weddings by Mai immediately. So that was the brand part. Say that, let everybody know that I'm doing this thing. I remember we did the event on a Saturday. On Tuesday, I had 15 orders for suits for grooms. And then there was no Instagram. it was Bella Ninja.
Yes, Bella Ninja.
So it was like you could literally tell where it was coming from, right? So I applied that to my business, and I started doing weddings because I knew that occasion was something that had to be serviced. Then back to my thing of you don't have the same customer every day, but you have the same customer every day because you won't have John getting married specifically every Saturday, but there will be a John who could be Chibike or be Daniel because there's groom, right? And they deserve the same kind of treatment. So I literally had the playbook. When you walked into my office, I said, I'm getting married as a groom. I knew exactly what I was going to tell you. It was just press the play button. And I go, yes, you're getting married. What kind of thing do you want to wear? You want a tie or a bow tie? I want a bow tie. So you're wearing a tuxedo. Great. For tuxedos, you want ivory, which is what they wear now. You daring, do you want to wear color or do you want a jacquard one? Once I go through that whole thing, in 10 minutes, we're done with this consultation. And I did that like literally all the time. So it was like, so I took that from that into my business. All right. I started understanding segmentation or chasing the money in terms of creatives are very interesting. We'll do things that make us happy. When you're not trying to do the business side, you realize that people are like, we don't want to do that dress again. Why? Oh, we did it 2 seasons ago. Did it make you plenty of money? Yes. Why do you want to stop? Oh, it's old stuff. Want to do something new. That's creatives. Do you know what I mean? But the person in business is thinking, okay, let me get this thing right. You made plenty of money. Yes. You can still make it. Yes. But you choose not to make it. Yes. Okay, make it make sense. So that's the businessman on the other hand.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But creatives, we are different. Every season, we're doing a new collection. Sometimes when you tell people, stop, okay, hold up, analyze, they're like, but it's the season. We have to do a new collection. Do you have to do a new collection? Do you get what I mean? It's like Christmas is every December, so we have to kill chicken. But do you really have to kill chicken? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the part that we do not get. That's the part we're not grounded in. Right. So it's like with creatives. You've looked at the creative industry in Nigeria. Pick any creative segment and see how have they grown to become establishments to today. It's not there. They are always the guys that are performing, but they never really own the performance in general. So in terms of question you asked, that's how I've moved, and that's how I think is the same thing. You know, if when I was senior brand manager, I took everything that I was doing into my business today, oh my God, it'd be crazy.
So why don't you do it?
Very good question. She's the business talking to the creative right now. Okay, why did I do it? First of all, I entered a segment, industry that I wasn't fully grounded. So fashion is creativity. There's also the business side. And for you to be left and right side balanced, you are a genius.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the problem. So you are trying to do this part. And as a human being in the creative space, once the light starts to flash in your eyes, you enjoy it. I mean, anyone can lie and I didn't stop it. And it kind of like distracts you without you knowing it's distracting you. You can call it brand building, equity building. Yeah, it is all that. But it still distracts you. When your garment is on the newspaper, you are happy. When it's on the blog, you are excited. You know, in your first few years, those things just really, really excite you. You're giving out things for free. You're not really seeing it. You know, you're just really going with the groove. Then later I start realizing, okay, why am I doing this? When you start understanding I have to do scarcity because I'm a premium brand, so I don't want to do this, so I should hold back a little bit. I should do that, I should do that. Like, people come, want to pull from me, and we don't do pulls. We don't. We only do pulls for customers. Then you have purchased, you have appreciated, you understand the value. So when I give it to you as a pull for a rental cost, you know, you will still carry the same pride like you purchased it. But if you've never purchased it before and I gave it to you, you will do it like nonsense. That's why I don't do pulls. Now, if my clothes cost absolutely nothing to make or next to nothing, I'll happily do pulls. But I won't do that now. So it's like, you know, but you need to be in it to understand it. You know, so young designers will do influencer, take influencer. Like when I see fashion shows, and I know some designers are going to kill me for this, and I see, you know, everybody wearing your stuff and you give it to them to wear, I'm like, how are you doing that? How? Who's paying for it? What's the bottom line? Are they returning it? And what are you doing with it? Because they're returning, you're not going to sell at the same value. If you're selling at the same value, great. I don't know how you did that, but I'm like, for the cost for me to make that, if I gave 50 people clothes to wear at cost price, right? I'm probably giving away in excess of 30 million naira. So I'm like, how? Do you get what I mean? So conversations have when people like, you're not just me to your show. I'm like, next. Because that's a lot of money on me. Yeah. Right. So I'm on the journey of doing what you asked, right? So we're trying to start seeing, okay, where's the opportunity in ready to wear? And let's start doing ready to wear. It takes less of my time. It takes a lot of money, by the way, to do ready to wear.
How much?
Okay. I will speak for me.
Yeah.
If I was to do ready to wear suits today, I probably won't produce the suits in Nigeria because it has to be consistent standard across board. So if you come and buy a size 40 today, come and buy a size 40 tomorrow, it has to be the same thing. We can't achieve that here.
Wow.
Why is that?
Because we do not have the production capacity and expertise to do it.
Plus the
people will
QA.
say it differently, right? It's beyond Q&A. So if you go to Savile Row, which is the mecca of soap making, right? They have tailors at the basement making these things, right? But it's not ready to wear. They're ready to wear is outsourced and they bring it in. Why not they get the tailors on that to make it ready to wear?
Labor costs?
Labor cost and the production equipments you need to do it, you do not have it. I've been to factories in China. I've been to factories in Turkey. When I see those factories work, I know it is impossible. We would do it at a very, very low scale, and a lot of things will be contributed. When you visit the machines that put things together, you know that, man.
This one's not generator lights.
It's not. Bruv, it is not. So there are equipments that do these things. And the smallest things, like, let me even tell you the smallest thing, like, to make the plackets on your shirts, there's a certain tool that will bend it and turn it, then stitch it. All right? Then to do the buttonhole, there's another machine that will do the buttonhole. Then the machine actually places the button and sews the button. A machine, not hand. The individual buttons. So in the start of the shirt, there's a pattern that is on a table that is cut. Not by hand. The last time I visited, it was cut by laser.
In China.
Yes. So you just see like going and it's cutting. Once it is done, there's a suction underneath the table that sucks out any little piece of grains or things that are there. So you have that's the fabric. Then it splits up. This is going to make sleeve. That one is going thing. Anything that needs stiffening goes to another machine where they actually put what they call an fusible on it. So your collar, your cuff, and your placket is fused. The other parts are not fused. So they spread around and they go to different places. But they still come back together where somebody couples it together. And it's done in such a way that you don't have to go, oh, where is the sleeve of this one? Is the neck of that one? Then no, because the timing is there and everything syncs to a particular time. So when you see a guy working in his factory in China, he has his tablet in front of him. Everything is already coded. So he has to work according to the time and move it. If he takes a break to make a phone call, the sleeve will go to the wrong garment. There's a possibility. Then there's a screen that is there that's actually calculating your efficiency and effectiveness at the same time. This is not beyond skill. This is like, we call it mechanized.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? That's how far it is. I was in a suit factory and they cut here. The sleeve is going somewhere else with 50 other sleeves. I'm like, but how do you know that it's going to come back to this jacket? And they look at me and smile. Right? So they have a line for suits. You have a line for shirts. So that's why they tell you your minimum order quantity is this. For me to turn on this machine, it means that I need to cut 50 at the same time of the same fabric. Most likely the same size. So when it's going like this, anything goes wrong, it still comes back being together. Right? That's what it takes for me to do it. But if I have to do a smaller quantity, it means that I am now using my things to less capacity. Because I have to have these conversations with them. I'm like, can I speak 5 for me now? Can I do 5 in 10 different colors? I'm like, no. So if you do that small quantity, you still pay the big price. That's why your samples cost really high.
Yeah.
Then when you want to produce in bulk, it comes lower. Now, how many people can actually look at the market and predict that what I want to make is this thing? Then put the money behind it, then get it done to the quantity they want to get, to the quality they want, then bring it and now start doing marketing to sell those things out through the right channels. Nigerians are the most demanding customers in the world. Once a Nigerian is giving you money, he wants the standard that he knows you cannot give him. But he knows that that standard exists. And they do it more to smaller businesses. The big businesses bully them. You go to a bank and they'll tell you, sit down there. I'm not going to attend to you today. And you will sit down. But if I tell you that you're on Instagram, can you imagine he did it?
It's true.
Even with flights, it's a regular thing for your flight to be delayed in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Regular.
As soon as they bring out refreshments, just know it's over.
Normal. It's very few people that would take off when they're supposed to take off. Right? Like 1 hour late. That lady at the airport with the accent. You know the airport accent?
Yeah.
Information, please. Flight 333 has been delayed for 30 minutes. And that's the end of the conversation.
Yeah.
We sit down there and just go like, yeah. But if someone did that to you, you'd be like, I'm sorry, you told me to get here. But so Nigeria is the pressure we put on small and medium-sized businesses as customers is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. We don't do it to the big guys. The big guys will kick you out. You know, I went to a bank to do a transfer physically 2 days ago. Right? And I was debited. 4 hours later, I was credited. That means it was reversed. Till today, nobody has called me or told me anything. Nobody told me anything. To fix that, I have to go back into the bank.
Yeah.
To say what happened. And they say, oh, sorry. And that's the end of it.
Etcha, remember that time I walked into a bank, I'm not going to give the name, and I asked them for $1,000 and they told me no, they cannot withdraw any dollar for me. And I was so upset. And I just remember asking everybody, how can I solve this issue? And I'm so happy that I finally have VBand to finally solve this issue for me.
You know, the thing is, you should be able to have access to your money anywhere in the world when you get paid, right? So I'm grateful we have VBand as a sponsor for the Afropolitan podcast. With VBAN, you're able to get paid in foreign currencies, whether it's pounds, USD, euros, and you can actually spend it in local currency as well. Now, you're also able to get a virtual card, which you can use to spend in and pay for services across the world, right? So I'm grateful to have VBAN as a sponsor.
You can download it on the Apple or Google Play Store. And remember, when you sign up, you use Afropolitan so they know you came from this podcast. Actually, okay, we got to pause here because I have something in particular to talk about this.
Hit me.
So I know, and I know you've seen this. And are you like on TikTok at all?
No, but I get the vibes from TikTok. I get it.
So there's literally and it started with one girl, and this happens like every 6 months, where a girl will come and say, this specific Nigerian designer ruined my wedding. And she'll do a 5-part series. And then in particular, this specific one they're talking about, I don't even know what has happened. This one woman started, she gave her 5-part series, and now like 20 different brides have come out with their stories. So I want to understand, is it actually the badness of this designer, or is it this thing you're saying, which is we're not being realistic, you know? And I'll give more context, because you designed Etche's outfit, and it was impeccable, right?
And I hope I wasn't stressful.
It was impeccable to the and so many people copied it, in fact. And for me, you know, I told people that you have to be anal, but you have to be mindful of how Nigerians were. I already know Nigerians, we can be somehow. So I said, you know what? I don't have a relationship with these designers. Let me get someone who has a relationship. And even with my own dress, funny enough, maybe 4 weeks before my wedding, I tried on my dress, and I remember I said, I kept looking at it like, what's going on? Like, I cannot go out, you know? And the person came to me and said, it's December, so I cannot change your dress. So I said, well, I'm mad and you're mad, so we'll be mad together, but something has to shake. And then eventually my stylist stepped in because she had that relationship. She was able to say, please do, and they were able to fix it, and I loved my dress or whatever.
We shouldn't be, by the way. But
it shouldn't be. But the thing is, I'm trying to understand, is it because I was anal? Was it like I'm trying to understand how to solve this thing, because it happens every 6 months. I see some bride crying about she hated her dress, designer went mad, the designer was rude, the designer didn't care, and that this designer only cares about celebrities, and it's always this specific through line.
I do not know the designer, but see, it's two.
But there's
things.
many of them. I mean,
I say that thing a lot. I'm also at the part. I want to even start a campaign that says, you know, customers deserve better.
Yeah.
Right? Because I believe that they do.
Yeah.
Right. But there's this thing that the customers that are going to meet this person, they've heard the story, but they still went. Why are you still there? You just hope yours will be different. But you like the association with the brand. That's why you're going there.
Yeah.
So you believe that yours will be different.
Yeah.
I think if any designer has done wrong, they should be called out. If they can fix it, if they cannot fix it, call them out, and people should boycott them, period. I'm of that thing, because you're offering a service and you should be 100%, right? Now, I've also heard things that as a designer, sometimes when you are rude to your customers, they keep coming back. They take you in high prestige.
Nigerians love toxic hospitality.
Yeah. That when they tell you, listen, there's nothing I'm going to do about it, you go like, you just shake and you just be quiet. Or they bully you into wearing something that is totally hideous and go like, you don't know what you're talking about. This is what it is. I hear that stylists even tell you that, oh, if you want to go with that design, that's your business. I won't put my name on it. You have to go with this, my designer. You know? So it comes in different ways. Now, the designers are wrong for giving things that are wrong. If you have told somebody something, right, regardless of if it's December, that's your problem. December didn't change. You knew the date was in December.
Yeah.
If there's a certain behavior in December that happens, right, you should understand the behavior and say, you know, in December, we do not do this. Like I tell my clients and I tell my people that work for me, as of October, start winding down on orders. So you don't get into December situations. Sometimes customers too, they used to lie. The customers will tell you that, okay, my wedding is on the 20th of December. I'm okay, yeah, 20th of December, you come for fitting a week, 2 weeks before, you say, great, right? Uncle will not show up and tell you that, you see, what happened was the flight got cancelled, there was a thunderstorm, this, so I can only come on the 19th. But uncle, we're closing on the 18th. Right? Some of those conversations happen, then that never comes to light. So all you will hear is the designer I paid money for, and this, that, and that's the gist you will hear, but you won't hear the other part. It's very rare to see a designer to put on the ring light and carry a microphone and say, this is what happened. Because when you even justifying your fact, people that know nothing about you and the situation will hit you more than that. Designers are always wrong when that thing happens. That's why I have some. So when designers actually have the energy to give their own story, there was something that happened to, I can call the name because it was a public, Alonuko. And one
God.
girl. Oh, this girl went on interviews giving boom, 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 boom. She was ready. When Alenko gave her own, which were 3 or 4 part stories, it was like crime and investigation. She had the soundtrack behind it. She had the receipts. She had the video cameras of when the girl came in. What she had the email, this, that, and that. The girl's interview stopped. She had her, like she broke it down.
To science.
Like literally, you came and you picked off the rack, but you are telling people that you paid money for couture. First of all, that's wrong. She gave it like, I don't have that kind of energy, but she did. And it was, when I sent her a DM and I said, man, go on, babe. Nice one, man. Yeah. Power to the people. I love what you did. Because sometimes people talk about designers all the time. They never say what the customer really did. When you change the silhouette halfway, the consultation, the production, you didn't say that. And I've cut the expensive fabric to the silhouette you said. So now I'm trying to adjust to your knee silhouette, which I should actually be making a whole new one for. But now it's my fault. But you won't say that part. You only say, this is what I ordered for and this is what I got. So there are a lot of things that will get lost within the space. And I believe that if that same person is getting called out repeatedly and she's probably doing something right. That's what I was saying. Because she probably got it right a number of times and at times she got it wrong. Right? And that's what's flagging up. So we have to check who is really wrong in this situation. I'm not going to defend designers, then I'm going to defend customers. But I believe that until you get the 2 people on the same chair and let them have a conversation, then you never know who's really wrong or who's really right. At the end of the day, you'll never know who's wrong. People have said things like, oh, this designer body shames people. Some people believe in, I saw something the other day of somebody that was actually very well known, went to a designer and they made her a garment, right? Some ideas from her, some ideas from the designer, they came up with this and the designer brought it to life. And a year later or a few months later, the designer made the exact same thing for another bride and the person is angry. You made my style for somebody else. Did you sew your style? And that's why they get this whole intellectual property wrong. Because if you told the photographer, the theme for my photo shoot is this, that I want birds in the sky, and he does it for you, he owns it. He can do the same thing for 10 other people. But if a designer does that, you go, no. You meet designers and tell them, I want something you've never made before.
Okay.
But you want to pay a normal price. Why? Because we do that. Or give me a design you've never done before. We'll get excited and trying to recreate something we've never done before. But I do that for you. And everybody wants something that's never been done before. And I'm struggling to give you that kind of thing because it's not realistic. It is not. You know, you as a customer, you know, you come with that kind of request. I mean, that means you two are delulu now. I used to somebody on social media where someone sent Chama's dress from Davido's, Chama and Davido, they're working.
Yeah.
And said she wanted the same dress, but her budget was 1.5 million naira. And she was like, I know you can do it.
I believe in you.
I don't know how you want to, but I know you can do it. That's what the lady said in the voicemail. That if Diana takes up the challenge and makes the 1.5 million naira version of that dress, she will not like it. But that's what you asked for. And you know the person that made the dress, and you know she must have charged nothing less than, a minimum, that thing would have been not less than 20,000 pounds. How do you want to believe a version for 1.5 million naira? How possible is it in this existence?
And people do it every day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get that too. You know, people do it every day. So that's it. So it's funny. So when people get called out, I look at it and I take it with a pinch of salt. The one that I hate that anybody puts on their page is what I ordered versus what I got. If you didn't get it from the same person that you ordered it from, then I won't even post it. So I'm even calling out blogs to be better than Nigerian style. We do what I order versus what I got. No, don't do it. I think it's wrong. You're actually encouraging people to take something that's authentic to somebody else to make a version. It's wrong. What I ordered versus should not exist at all. Except you ordered it from the same person and it is wrong, then yes. Order from somebody else? No. That's terrible. You're actually aiding what is bad for the industry.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back to the comments you made around China. And also, again, I also wanted to thank you again for the wedding because it felt good. I remember a lot of people during the wedding would come up to me like, oh man, you're so relaxed. You're not stressed, you know? And I was like, no, I mean, in terms of this fit, I'm in the greatest hands possible. So definitely shout out to you. And,
Thank you very much.
I said to her, like, prior to a wedding, you never really know what to expect as a groom because, you hear all these stories and all these horror stories. But when you feel like you're in the right hands, bro, I did not stress. Like, I think all I did was just put on outfits. Outfit was great.
Came from me, came from fitting. And I think most of the thing I tell people is that the groom has to be comfortable. Yeah. Dinola was just stylist.
Yes.
I didn't know that he has to be comfortable. Dinola, you have wide ideas, but he has to be. So he may be looking good according to you and to a lot of people. If he's not comfortable, he'll make it look bad. Because he'll probably be like this or be like that. But if he's comfortable, he'll just be like that.
Yeah.
And the outfit will breathe. Do you get what I mean? So it's very, very important. And that's what some people make. But go back to your question.
So I think the question I wanted to ask was, assume that there's a world in which we're trying to bring manufacturing to Nigeria at an industrial scale similar to China, right? And you have been tasked with how can we compete on a global level and you have unlimited funding. How would you approach it from a manufacturing perspective, a technology perspective? Like, is there a world in which, what would that world look like?
I think we would start now, probably get there if we are lucky, maybe in 5 to 7 or 10 years. If you give me unlimited budget today. Because now I have to train people. Right? You still cut with the scissors. At most, you have the machine that cuts through fabrics like this, but people are doing laser. You have to learn that. You have to understand the machine. Now, if you get the machines here, who's going to fix the machines when they break down?
Yeah.
I keep talking about this buttonhole machine that I bought that only does the eyelet buttonhole for the suits. So this button, that's the only thing it does. It cost me 6.6 million naira. That was maybe 5 or 7 years ago. Whenever it is down, it's a problem. Even the company that sold it to me, their expertise is in Dubai. They will have to start doing WhatsApp call. So I speak to you right now, the thing is down. And it's a brother machine. It's not like I bought some Chanhome or anything. Do you get what I mean? So now you have the machines. Who's going to run the machine and who's going to repair the machine? Yeah. So there has to be enough business for those companies to come and be here, set up here. So you see, it is bigger than saying, I want to do. So when I see states doing factories and they have 300 sewing machines, I'm like, you will pack it up. You will pack it up, right? So we want to get to where we can compete, right? So from the production perspective, from Angus, okay, we have to train. Our technical colleges do not exist anymore. So they can't even run those things, right? So now you have to train. Even though you put people in class that train them and start transfer knowledge from where you are right now and it's compatible so I can train you. You will get that. Then you start working this thing. But again, it has to be of skill. So even if you train me right now, I'm only servicing 3 machines in the whole of Nigeria. I'll go and start driving bus for the rest of the time because that money is not enough for me. Right? So you have that problem. So the machines come and all that come. The other thing is now power. The only way to go with power is you go off grid and you get solar panels, and so now that's going to be because you told me unlimited budget. That's why I'm calling this other thing. You know what I mean? So because if you have to now go diesel and petrol, it's literally all over. It's okay. Where are you setting these things? Setting this thing up. If you want to set it up in Lagos, it's very, very high capital. Again, I have the unlimited budget, so I can do it in Lagos. But if I have to do it where I know that it's going to be okay, I'll go outside Lagos. I'll probably go to Ogun State or go to Ondo State where I have the space to do all that. But the people there, then I have to now train like I did say before. Okay. Now, let's say we have all the production done. We have everything done to a T and all that. Then we have to now go even back to the raw material. Because even if you're doing your tailoring and everything is perfect, the raw material is going to cost you money. Are you going to start producing the raw materials? So if I want to produce cotton, that means I have to plant cotton in the north. I have to turn the cotton to yarn, turn the yarn to fabric, That's another plant, totally different. If it's going to be cashmere, that means I have to get sheep. I have to take the wool of the sheep, blah, 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 sheep. That's where that song comes from. Take the wool of the sheep and turn it to fabric. That's what we used to make suiting, right? So you need to understand those kind of things. But if you say, you know what, let's even skip all that. Let's buy from overseas. So you have to have a government conversation where you don't do taxes on those things if it's going through this channel, right? Then you can start competing with anybody that is industrialized. That is a reason why the designers overseas still produce in China. Because they can do all those things in that country.
It's vertically integrated.
It's still going to be cheaper when you do it where you have more people who are, for lack of a better word, less privileged to do the dirty work, which is what the UK is going through with Brexit. What's going to clean your toilet? You can't clean your toilet, so who's going to clean your toilet? Right? So we are blessed with human capacity. We are blessed with intelligent people. So we can actually fill the gap, right? But we say this thing as a lip service as a country because, 1 barrel of oil is what we're really concerned about, and that will give us what we need to give. But if you look the other way, this can change the whole country's conversation if we decide to fix this thing. And it's not just in fashion. It's everywhere. I've listened to your podcast and we talk about fashion not getting money. It's not fashion, it's everybody. That is a small business that is manufacturing something. The dollar is affecting is not just fashion. And the story is like that for everybody else. Down to why are we producing toothpick overseas? We can produce toothpick here. If somebody sits down and produces a toothpick for this whole country and he has the capacity to do it for the country well enough, all of a sudden he will not have more than enough capacity to do even more. So he has to export or he has to go into something else. Maybe start making pencils and stuff. But that's the vision you should have. People that make buttons, they don't just make buttons, they make other products. So it's a tough one, and it's going to take a whole movement to say this is what's going to happen. So when I say individual going I'm going to set up a factory, I just clap my hands for you and say, oh, the best. Because I know the quality that will come out of that factory. It's not going to compete international.
Yeah.
People say they're exporting. Yes, you will export. I understand what I mean. You can export crap international and someone will still buy the crap international. But that's not what we're trying to play. We're trying to play at the highest level, at the highest quality. It's going to be a very, very, very tough one. Now, having said that, it cuts across every single industry and segment of industry in this country.
Yeah.
Manufacturing is not our strong point. We're a consuming country. Sadly, that's where we are right now. Can it change? It can change. But that would take Jesus Christ.
But what does, and this is a two-part question, what did IP collection or IP protection look like when you first started, right? And what does it look like in Nigeria? But also, I've seen a lot of chatter about what IP protection looks like, especially when competing with the Chinese manufacturers, where I think I saw, was it Kai Collective when she was complaining about, I don't know whether it was Forever 21 or what of those.
Hard design,
So,
print.
Two-part question. What did it look like, and still, what does it look like in Nigeria in terms of IP protection when it comes to fashion? But also, what does it look like longer term when you're competing with factories or manufacturing hubs in China who don't seem to respect it? And what has been your experience? What have you witnessed so far?
I'm a bit deluded when it comes to that. I do the Walt Disney thing. Say when Walt Disney started, he would draw his comic books and give them out for free.
Yeah.
And someone was like, why give them that for free? He said, where that came from, I have 1 million more. So I'm not worried, right? I kind of I'm deluded like that to stay there. I'm not saying it doesn't hurt me when they copy, it really does hurt. In terms of protection, you can protect yourself, but you need resources to go and chase the guys that are still copying you. And when you look at the resources you need to go and chase the guy, you're like, oh, why bother? Then when you even catch a guy and the guy is guilty, there's one thing to say you're guilty, not pay the sum of money. I do not have the money. That's another conversation. If you don't have the capability to pay, there's nothing they can do to you, really. So when you look at all those things, you're just thinking, Yeah, but it's good. But I mean, a lot of the designers are now doing like IPs and protecting their things. You know, Imade Duso did the whole write down when she did that last collection, and and she posted it up. You know, I think the guys that did Coming to America too copied Ugo Monye's designs, and he got a lawyer involved in those kind of things, right? But again, it's not even about Nigeria. It's like globally, the Chinese guys are literally kicking everybody's ass, literally globally. I know someone that did a skirt, and her skirt is on Alibaba in white for what it cost her to buy a zipper. Do you get what I mean? It's like, how do you compete with something like that? So it's a very tough one. And now the game is even global. So they know that, I understand that people like Shein and Co, they just put money aside.
Really?
Like, come. Yeah, just put money aside. Like, come. It's easier for you to fight to the point where you're like, okay, yeah, we'll break. I'll give this guy $300,000. Okay, yeah, we'll move on.
While still making the sales.
While still making it.
Yeah.
So they're making, I mean, if you know the story of Toys R Us and Amazon, that's exactly what happened.
Wait, break that down. Tell us the story.
Toys R Us,
Yeah.
I think they've even gone under now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they have.
Major store doing their things, toys and everything. They now did the partnership together on Amazon. Amazon chased that thing up and they locked the deal and locked it down. Okay, exclusive to us online, and it starts to work out very well. Now, in that time, Amazon understood the business, understood the consumer's behavior, made the consumer shop toys easier online. So they understood the behavior of the customer. Now, if you're not tracking, you start realizing that they're not buying more online than they're going into the stores to buy because it's now more convenient and stuff. But you see, they created the experience on their platform in such a way that you would go and do it on the platform rather than go to the store, because the store now felt overwhelming because they actually knew what to feed you based on your pattern, right? Like if you're buying something for a 3-year-old, they know that 5-year-olds is what they like. You start feeding 5-year-olds in 2 years' time, and you just buy because you can't know, right? So they did that. Then they now went against the contract of exclusivity and started stocking other toy manufacturers on the platform. And Toys R Us went like, guy, this is not our agreement. They're like, guys, sorry, it is what it is. And they get back and forth. Then they sued. And when you sue, they spent all the time delaying the case while they still sold the other people's things on the platform. The case took 3 years. They got a settlement. But when they got the settlement, there were even more toys on the platform than Toys R Us had on the platform before. So he went back to his retail, tried to build a website. He didn't understand the consumer behavior to toys.
Yeah.
And how they clicked. So his own just felt cumbersome. And Amazon felt easier. So the consumer stayed with Amazon. And what you are making is toy now. And we can make the toy in China. And Amazon started closing their shops down one by one. And that was the end of the story.
Sure.
I was
Just
reading
like that.
I was reading about, when people talk about competing with China, they think it's just, okay, go build the factories.
They think it's a product and no.
They fail to take into account the role of compounding over time. When somebody has been doing something for 10, 15 years and has really gotten muscle memory behind that, so that it's not just, hey, go and copy and paste. It's like, no, they've been doing this enough times where they've learned behaviors that you can't just get just by copy and pasting. Now, if you want to do it, just commit yourself to the same time period, but also know that even in that 10, 15 years, unless they get complacent, you might not be able to catch up as easily as
most
you
likely
think.
would not be able to.
Yeah.
And we've seen this thing happen. Like when the EVs started, electric vehicles started, we're like, oh yeah, Tesla is this, that, and that. But the Chinese ones are the ones that are now getting the most standard credit and the ratings and everything. It's like they sit and they watch and they start to build. So for people, it's not about the garment. It's just like I said this thing in Nigeria. If you know how they do the McDonald's and Burger King next to each other, right? If somebody doesn't have something, you go to the next one. You just take. And those guys, they like it because, you know what? We are fighting against each other, but it's here and here. If someone is selling rice, or father rice, and someone's selling the father rice here, but you put a beautiful girl outside that says, good afternoon, you want a father rice, please come in, right? You will get more customers than the one that doesn't even bother doing that. If yours has AC, you'll get more customers, right? To a point that even if your rice is slightly not as good as the other guys, right? You'll probably still get more customers.
Yeah.
So it's never really about the actual thing. It's everything around it at the end of the day.
You know, I do want to get your thoughts, because this whole idea of copying, right? I think there was so many times, even sometimes today, that people will say China made, and they always indicated low quality.
That's a fact.
And I think one of the trade-offs the West did was to say, hey, we will export our manufacturing to you guys, handle that, but the IP level, the creative level, like you guys, there was an assumption that they don't have the ability to ever get there, right? And so obviously that has come and been shown to have been the worst type of assumption to ever been made. But what is your advice on people who grapple with that, who think, hey, they could not play on the IP level of things, they could not play on the creativity level of things, because now you're looking at some of these cars coming out of China, you're saying, bruh, I want that car. You know, so what are your thoughts on that?
I think that is such a, I want to say it's more African thinking when you say made in China is bad quality.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, like everything is made in China. Just in case you do not know, like everything is made in China. You know, whenever you get something from your favorite designer, you know, be it glasses, cufflinks, look at where it's made. They put it there. It is made in China. Then the other 95% rule, which is make it in China, then bring it to your country and add a zipper, then it's made in your country, right? And you can bump up the price, because that's another thing right now, you know, and that's what it is. But people now know that made in China is the highest quality. But you, as the person that presents it, you may choose not to say made in China. You do the 95% rule. When it comes, I put the zipper, I change the button, then it is now made in Italy. Another very interesting thing, in Italy, there's a town, I forget the name now, there's a Chinese town. And they do manufacturing for garments. Chinese 100%. So where is it made? Because now we're not saying made by, we're saying made in.
Yeah.
So the Italians understood that and said, you know what, come here, do what you're doing. Do it to this standard, right? Do it here. Suit Supply makes their suits in China. They put it out publicly. But they get the fabric from Italy, get it from England, they get this, and they do it. So if the Chinese start to do better quality fabrics, what would they do? So that whole misconception that what is made in China, you can get every single standard you want in China, but you pay for what you get. I was in China in November. I'm going to go again in April. I was there in August the year before. So I just want to sometimes just go there and just look, because they're ahead of the whole world. And what I love about them, they never gloat. When you tell them something that you feel like you do not, they go like, oh, wow, you do that in your country? Wow, amazing. I mean, they've been doing it in that country years ago. Years ago. I tell anyone, if you're doing anything with someone in China, go and visit the factory. Because when you get there, realize that what you think you're doing that was super good is actually like 1% of their capability. And just going to the factory, you realize that, whoa, I can do that. You mean you can do this? They're like, yeah, you didn't tell me, but you know, ask. You're supposed to know more than me, you know? Why am I telling you? You tell me what you want, and I will give you what you want, because I can do every other thing, you know? So I'm not fooled at all. I know that they probably will not use real marble because they can make something that looks just like marble because they're trying to be next level. How would I carry this that has a lot of weights? And the process is this, when I can actually chemically produce an identical thing and slam it on. And you literally have to go like knock, knock, knock to know it's not marble. But that's you. The other millions look and go like, wow. So that thing is a thing of the past.
What cities would you advise for somebody who wants to visit China to check out?
I would always go to Guangzhou, which is the fashion hub. Like literally soak yourself in it. I've been to Shanghai, I've not been to Beijing. I want to go to Beijing, but I'll be purely as a tourist. I've been to Suzhou. Suzhou is a smaller city or smaller town away from Guangzhou. It's about 30 or 1 hour from Guangzhou. Then Foshan, if you're into furniture and stuff. And what I realized the Chinese do, which is really great, is never really about the city. So, which I think is something we should actually adopt in Nigeria. I'm into fashion. I know Lagos tailors are crazy and blah, 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 blah. I will literally go to Ogun State, right? Go to Benin, where I know that people are a bit more selling in the work, right? I will build up capacity from there. So the only thing I need to pay extra money for is transportation to Lagos. And that's what they do in China. So if you're in Guangzhou, the person's shop will be as small as this sitting area. If you order and say, I want 100 of this, they say, give me 1 hour. If you want 10,000, give me tomorrow. The stock is not in that town. You have to travel to get it and bring it to you. So that's why you see the same business, 50 people on the same road saying the exact same thing, and they are having a conversation there. There's no competition. Because their customers are not the ones that are walking in through the door. Their customers are the ones on the phone. So for me, it's like, if you want to go to China, know what you want to do. Get a vendor already and go and visit the vendor. And China is amazing. I don't know how to do this thing, and I think it's still crazy. If you're a vendor that sells fabric, I go and visit you, and I ask you, do you know any other vendor that sells fabric? You say, oh yeah, go there. I say, thank you. They say, yeah. But I think that's my business going. They don't think like that. They don't. I went to get furniture in China, and the person goes, do you want to see any other person in Foshan? I'm like, yes, but no. But I'm thinking, this is not right.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm like, oh no, like, really? Oh, then you walk down, many shops sell furniture, you go have a look. I'm like, okay. They're not like that, because it's not about the guys here. It's about a bigger market that is not here, which is another thing that we as designers in Nigeria don't think about. Some of the younger ones are not doing it. You start a business and you're thinking of your environment, right? Now, the other guys are thinking that I can actually sell to the diaspora 100% and not sell anything to anyone in Nigeria, and I'll be good. So all I need to do is standardize my sizing. My payment platform is nice and swift. My delivery is sorted, right? And I can target these guys straight. And it's probably even easier for you to target people overseas than it is to sell in Nigeria.
Yeah, you could just do ads. You could do different things. Yeah. But break that down to me. Why are we not thinking more about that? Because I personally, you just did a really masterful job breaking down the whole fashion industry. So this 1% tier that most people are shining about, my thing is they should just focus outside. I don't think they should be focused here because here...
It's knowledge, it's expertise, it's also exposure. Like, how would I even know what they want? I can say that because I'm where I am. But if Tinuka is just starting out tomorrow, she's thinking, London, customer, no. Do you get what I mean? But if she thought product, and I want to push this one product as much as I can, but again, she's not exposed to that. She's not an entrepreneur. We're starting businesses where the everything, and we think it's nice. We're superheroes. But you see, the other guy that started and got someone to focus on digital, focus on that, borrowed money to pay this one for the next 6 months, then went bankrupt after the year and said, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. They actually got the process and the systems in from the get-go. But I am still chasing system and processes till now. Because I still have to do my day-to-day. I have to think of structure. Then when I put the system in place, it goes against what the person did yesterday. And the customer is saying, why are you telling me to pay 100%? I paid 70% yesterday. Okay, take 70% from me. I've bent the rule already. But when I started and say 100%, if you walked and say 100%, you then make a call to say yes or no. And that's what it is. Do you get what I mean? So I think that's what the problem is. So it's not like they don't know. They do not know. It's not like they don't want to. They do not know. A lot of credit is given to young business people by customers, assuming that they are at that level. They are not. They're only trying. Even like fashion industry, we are just trying.
Yeah.
I just tried. Some years ago, I was talking to Lisa for Larry, and she was like, Mai, I had to go and learn pattern. But you see, is it nice for her to? Yes. But is it needed? No. But she should just get somebody to pay to do that. And she probably can afford to pay, but that person will probably not do the job like the way she wants her to do the job.
Yeah.
So we do not know. So we pick the things that we like. We like the fashion show and the glitz and the glam. And we put a lot into that. But I always say this thing, when that is done, how many of those designers have the lookbook up on their page? How many of them can take orders and put the price into it immediately after the show is done? Right? How many of them have done the campaign already to push out there? How many of them put in on multiple channels? A brand launched a collection 2 days ago. It's on Complex today. It's going to be on GQ the next day. And I'm looking at how they are doing, because they've already done all this thing before the collection is even launched.
Yeah,
set it up.
We want to talk. I need to talk about that.
We
that
do the
drives
collection,
me, and then start sell.
So you
PR.
start we do collections sometimes, right? And you want to buy the collection, and we have not even produced the fabric.
Yes, it drives me crazy.
I know.
It drives me.
Baby talk. I'm not that to tell you. Wait, hold up. That calm down.
Because we're getting to the sweet part of the conversation.
See, it is one person. We are trying to do everything. So we're trying to look like Gucci and this. That's why we're giving people close to wear in front row. Because there's no reason to do that. Even the big brands, they don't dress everybody. They pick 20 people and they dress. If I pick 20 people and dress in Nigeria, if I know the 27th one, thinking, so I'm not your guy, Abby. You get what I mean? So, and it's you. But see, Gucci is a corporation. So they can point fingers. I mean, there was an American designer said the other day, his friends like, you don't invite us to your show. He said, because a seat on my show is $250,000. When I break down the number of people that are seated and what I put to do the show, you won't do anything for me. So I can't invite you. But we don't get that. People think that when I come to your show, I'm actually making your show look good. No, you're not. And I'll put this into perspective. We're in 2026, right? I didn't do a show in 2025.
Yeah, you did it. Yeah. I was looking.
I didn't do a show because even me, I'm still learning. I'm trying to find a good balance.
Yeah.
2023, I did a show in the Coke Hotel. I had a point to prove to myself and to people that sponsor fashion shows to say, we can do international standard fashion shows in this country. We just do not have the money. So I did a show in the Coke Hotel, 800 people sitting exclusively front row. There was no second row. Everybody was front row. Every single person sat front row. We had 6 lanes, right? We had 50 models. We showcased 80-something pieces, right? I put that thing together by myself with 2 other human beings. There was no agency. There was no event company. Nothing. We did that thing. It was a big show by every standard. One of my sponsors came to the show, and when she saw the reception area, she was asking where the models were going to walk past. I'm like, no, the show is happening in the main hall. We hired where the video does its concert. That's where I did the fashion show. It was huge. I got interviewed by the New York Times when they saw what was happening in the show. By every standard, easily one of the biggest shows that's ever happened in the continent. Right? It was nice. I rushed to do the show. People saw some things on the runway. I want this thing. How much is it? We had not produced it. Right? It will be ready. Show was in October. It will be ready in January. November. December. January. I found it 3 other places and I bought something similar. Right? So I did that show. It was nice. It was successful. First of all, the buzz was great. That's another thing about doing fashion shows. It could be for equity building. So it builds your brand up, which is, I can't deny that. So if that's what you're doing with your shows, great. Make it a movie and run with it. The next year, in 2024, I had a presentation in Ikoyi. Only invited customers. Paying customers were all I invited by email. The email I used to send the invoice was I used to send the invitation. And they came. They saw the collection. This. anything you see and you want will be ready for you in 4 weeks. I was a bit more ready. On the day of the show, that day, we might have made an excess of 20 million naira. The other one, I ain't make a dime.
Wait, but let me ask a question, because you know Elon Musk, he's on with the cars. He'll come show you the car, and then say pre-order now.
Yeah.
And then you will get your car.
Yeah.
I don't know if they put a time limit, but you try to get the car. A lot of people have pre-ordered some cars and use 7 years if the guys are, but the money is down. Why can't that same model apply? Because we've seen the product on the runway. It's there. I like it. I want it. Why can't they also pre-order for it and then get it when it's ready?
Which is what I did with my other
the second time.
The second time.
But why?
So
but it could apply on the runway too, right? Okay, cool.
Those are learning. That's why I did the second time. But you see, with people, if you are a ready-to-wear brand, why am I pre-ordering the thing that I'm supposed to get now?
Yeah,
so fashion happens in the 6 months window before, but now they scratched all those things. So when I show you spring, summer, so our spring, summer is for the next year. I'm in the summer of next year, you will see it in the stores. So I'm showing it to you right now, but you don't get to see it in 6 months' time, which was kind of like understanding. But within that time, Zara has copied it, everybody has copied it and blah, 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 because it's all over the press, right? So we're trying to do see now, buy now, right? But again, the easiest way to close the gap is to pre-order and get it at so time. Get it in 4 weeks. If you're not used to that model from the designer, you won't even wait that period.
Okay.
So someone like, if you come to me for a suit, I say 6 to 8 weeks. So you're used to that. That's why my business is still 90-something% custom made to order. You order and this is the period it will take. Even if it's a shirt, it will take 4 weeks. And you will get it in that period. Right? If you're not getting that period, I'm apologizing to you. I'm, refunding your money and still giving you your garment, whatever it is, I'll do that. Right? But you see, for different things in fashion, there are different models. So if you do ready to wear, it means it is ready to wear. Someone said Nigeria is ready to wear, is ready for my tailor to cut it and sew it. that thing killed me. But yeah, so it's made to order. So that means it's going to take a standard of this working day. So some designers are getting there right now. So we put it there. It takes 20 working days. Take 10 working days, meaning that it is not ready to wear. You can put it in your cart and order it. I'll make it the standard size. In this window, you will get it. All right. So that's the point. And that also comes to fact that we are also the manufacturers.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Now, if I was to put something on the runway and have it already produced, I'm taking a huge risk because it was in my head and I bought it and I put it on the runway and you do not like it and I've produced 300. So what's going to happen? It didn't hit. It didn't connect. There is no guarantee that everything I put on the runway will hit.
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of like connect the music industry to fashion industry. I said, fashion, we should think more like musicians because we put out a 40-piece collection and only 5 of them hit and we are sad that the other 35 didn't hit. Right? But when you buy your favorite album, sometimes you don't listen to all the songs. You skip some songs like as per regular. Or some intros you prefer to a whole song, So if you put out an album, right, and a quarter of the songs hit, you are happy. But now they do it a different way. They drop singles. I drop a single, you love the single, I do a remix of the single, I drop another single, then I drop the album. So why can't you just drop single, then drop album? But again, if I drop 10 drops of a garment, if I put it in my collection, like I've seen this before now, why is it here? That's what you would tell me.
Yeah.
But business-wise, it makes sense for me to do it like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, globally, even locally, the whole scope is changing. So I tell designers, do it as it works for you. Don't do it how the designer and the consumer wants it to work for them. Because sometimes you'll be stretching your capacity. Listen to them. If you can do it that way, then put it as the next line of action to do. But it's not supposed to be like that all the time. And we as Nigerians, we buy for function. Today is what? Thursday. There's a wedding on Saturday. I want to wear kaftan. You can't come and meet me.
Yeah.
So someone's going to tell me, man, you're leaving money on the table. But there's somebody in this town that will tell you 24 hours, get your thing.
It's ready.
When you do it, it won't fit right. It won't do this, but you know what you ordered. So you'll be happy with it. That guy probably has a chance to get more money off you than I do.
Wait, but I'm curious, is your audience inside or outside? Like, is it in Nigeria or is it outside Nigeria?
In Nigeria, and Nigerians or Africans in the diaspora.
Okay. So specifically Nigerians in diaspora.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the other thing, because you kind of were touching on it, so we started having a conversation because I was like, I'm frustrated. I'm speaking as a customer. I'm not speaking as like an expert.
You don't care what's going on.
Yeah, I don't care what's going on. And I'm just like, I see two things. And I want you to break this down finally so everybody can look at it and see what it is, right? So number one, this thing you said, which is Lagos Fashion Week is getting bigger and bigger and bigger because more of it's now beyond the African diaspora.
It's part of the culture.
Yeah, it's part of the culture now.
Yeah.
So they all come, we all look, and I literally see my friends from the US who say, I want that, I want this, I want this. They maybe extend for an additional week because they want to buy those things and they cannot buy it.
No, they can't.
Yes. So there's that issue, right? And I think you broke that down. But now the next level is this thing of I'm closing in December. Can we have this conversation? I need to understand it because I literally every year I have so many people that will come and they'll say, Chica, okay, like maybe they'll come, they'll do jai, they'll party. Then maybe third week of December, they go to Ghana real quick. Then they come back. Then January is when they want to shop and nothing's open. And they're looking around like...
Or that window between December 25th and the 1st.
Yes. And so what is that about? Like, is it that... Could we plan better for it? Is there a structure around it? Are they even aware that this is there's this group of people looking to buy? Like, what is it?
I want to add to that question too, because I think when Chika started pointing it out to me, I couldn't wrap my head around it because we helped usher in like the year of return in Ghana, right? And I think we definitely helped change the culture too there because prior to that, they weren't used to diasporas coming in and then maybe they had their own culture of closing too. But now in Ghana, they know. From the 25th to January 5th, you can literally make as much revenue as you made your whole year there. And to Chika's point, it's still the same. It's not the same thing here where I'm so shocked when I'm hearing Tailors say, oh, I'm closed till January. And I'm like, I have my friends from the diaspora here looking to buy clothes in real time and they're willing to spend and take back home with them. So why not just shift your vacation time to maybe January and then in December, just go ham for these like 8-10 days.
And I understand that, but I will look at the person's business specifically.
Okay.
If it's ready to wear, then they have a conversation. If it's custom, there's no conversation had.
Why?
Because you won't have it in the time anyways. So I will stay back to take your measurement and hope that you pay me so you can get it at the end of January or February. Do you get what I mean? So what I'm doing is literally taking the measurement and all that. So I'm going to open for that period and keep manpower down for that period. But what you're doing is not guaranteed because if I said, okay, pay the money, then come and take the measurement this time, you go like, no. Do you get what I mean? All right? Now, again, I want to defend my people here. I want to defend my people first of all. Right, before I start breaking this thing down. Because I'm not defending my guys. As we speak, China is closed.
Yeah, for Lunar.
For New Year.
Yes, it's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
There's nothing you want to do in that period that you do. Even if you have $1 billion, they won't attend to you.
And they let you know ahead of time.
They let you know ahead of time.
Yeah.
Right? So that's my defense. We are closing in Christmas. We are closing. I do not care what you are bringing to me. But again, so it's something that if you want my product and you know I close in December, you will make plans to get it before then. Right? As a certain, I can bullishly say that. But if I'm someone that is saying, I want to get as much as what I want to get, I have to make myself open in the period. Now, in the amount of necessities that happen over there, if you're a hotel and you close in that period, you're stupid. If you're a bar, you close in that period, you're even dumb.
And you're
a restaurant, you close. If you're a fashion, I would let you breathe, to be honest, because I think that there's alternative to alternatives.
Yeah. And
I believe that if you are shopping all that period, moreover, anybody that wants to wear clothes for Christmas, Boxing Day, they have already acquired it before then. Do you know what I mean? So that window, whilst it is important, I think it's important in terms of facing that I'm available and I'm working this period. I don't know if the money that is made in that window is compared to any other industry that is in hospitality, right? In there. So if I look at it and think that is this such a critical time for me to open in? Because it's really that 1 week, maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah.
After the Christmas or just before the Christmas, so like a week after the New Year. That's the window, right? Is that where I get my most sale from? No. I get my most sale as leading to the Christmas.
Leading
Into Christmas. But after Christmas, it dips. It dips. So for me, there's really no incentive to want to open. Now, if you're doing the Ankara shorts and shirts and people are trying to travel back, then you should open. I think you should open.
Yeah.
And I think you can actually open for a smaller window and stuff like that. But if you want to experience the fashion business or experience fashion in Nigeria and you want to experience within Christmas, and nah. I don't think it's going to be beneficial financially to the business. I want to open in this window. Of course, except I have strongly targeted the diaspora and I know they are coming to buy my stuff, then yes. For my business, it is not the same way at all.
Yeah. Your business, I think, actually makes sense.
So that's what I say. So for different have different, strategies, and I think they're built on different. If it's ready to wear, I think you should be open.
Yeah.
I think you should be open to make that money. But some people look at it like, if you want a particular dress from Kilenta, if you want that dress in February, you probably still want that dress in December.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you want it in December, you want it in February. If you want it from Hertumba. So I think designers actually do the balance and check and go like, you know what? Yeah. I'll close in this period, So what I think is a big thing is more for ready-to-wear brands than generic. And the ready-to-wear brands versus the other kind of things in Nigeria, they're literally this small.
Some of the businesses have said that it's even hard to keep workers during that period because they want 100%. To go. And I remember you saying, well, Amazon has this thing where they will have temp workers, like people who come in for that period and work. And then also mentioning incentives, because I was saying to myself, why would the worker want to work for the same salary during the same period, even though you're saying sales are coming? Whereas if you maybe upped their take home a little bit more and say, hey, based on these sales that we're expecting, you're incentivized to stay for this. So I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
My own thing is that's very possible, but if you're working with artisans, you have to be very careful. Yeah. If I pay you a bumper in that period, it means I have the money to pay to you in January. If you don't give it to me in January, I'm bouncing.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So you have to be really careful with these guys. I mean, if you hear the stories we hear, people's grandmother and father have died 10 times when they work with you. So who died again? Your father died last month. How come your father died again this month? So you do not want to deal with the guys at that level every day. It draws me. Last year, I literally had to sit in the car with my driver to go and buy fuel. Why? Because the guy was stealing.
Yeah.
And I sent 3 people with him to buy, and they should check. He schemed them. They didn't know what happened. They came back with a 70-something thousand naira for a full tank. I'm like, no, this thing is 40-something K.
Yeah. Did you give him your card? Did he have your card? How was he paying for it? Transfer?
He was paying with card. Dude, wherever way it was, the person that I sent had the card. He would do the move.
And especially because he's going to the fuel station, he knows.
And he's going to meet the guys there. We had him to bring a receipt the other day. Yeah. He brought a receipt. The figure was correct. What he claimed to have bought, right? The unit price was correct. Then when it came to the liters, they just scribbled something because they knew that this time just doesn't give this.
Yeah.
But he still brought the receipt. I went to the filling station with him twice, hoping that he would just go, "Oh God, I'm sorry. That gave me something." He didn't. And I went there, I brought my card, I paid 40-something thousand naira. Second time we went, 40-something thousand naira. He still parked the car like normal. Then come January, and I told him to bounce. And I told him exactly what he did. And he started saying, "I'm sorry."
Okay.
So if you have,
she's laughing because we can relate to the exact same story. Yeah.
So if you have 20 tailors times 20, do you get what I mean? So now you're going to start looking for a way to manage this thing at the sub level. And it's everywhere. I went to change my car tire yesterday. The girl that was attending to me was talking to the technician and asking me a question. He just ignored her. And she was like, oh, please speak to him and ask him if you can balance your car outside or on the distance. Because she wasn't getting through to the guy. He ignored her. And I asked him, he said, I can balance it outside. But he didn't give her that. I tipped him when he was done. I said, please, I know you do not like her for one reason or the other, but please, a customer is involved. Just be nice. And that goes, okay, I'm sorry. Because he knew what he was doing. Now, as a fashion brand, you manage that thing. Because if you put somebody as a sub between you and them, there can be insubordination. So you still have to step in. So the bigger you grow, the little things you face that you probably are too embarrassed to say publicly is your problem, right? There are more. Because you see as a business, you should have this on lock.
Yeah.
That's what people assume you should do. But you see, when the Lebanese guys are treating the Nigerians like shit and shouting on them and literally slapping them, and their business are running better, you don't see that. You just get the great service on the other side. But that's what they do to get the job done. So you see the mean boss gets more productivity. The guy that comes and yells at people and strangles them when they misbehave. The Nigerians know how to behave like that. But if you are reasoning and trying to do Google stuff with them, this place is zen, that's your play area to chill. You go, yeah. You go, and that's what we deal with because we deal with artisans. Because designers overseas, they don't have that. It is outsourced. Then when you have a production in-house, your cutter or your pattern maker is someone that studied in a university. So it's like I'm talking to you as my pattern maker. So we after them, we'll go and have tea. Yeah. We will understand what we're doing. It's not the case. So typically, most people are doing this thing because they love it. When they get into it, they realize that, man, and the time flies when you're trying to fix this thing. Before you know, you've been doing it for 10 years. Before you know, you've been doing it for 15 years. I think, where did this time go? I used to work in corporate. I mean, the dude that sat next to me in Diageo, we're innovation managers together, is the MD of an alcoholic beverage company right now for the whole of Africa. He does, no one tells him, his driver doesn't say, I'm not coming to work today.
Wait, is this Shola, by the way?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, just for him. That's right.
We just went to South Africa. Or we just went with him.
Small world, yeah.
I and Shola sat together. We started innovation department together in Diageo.
Yeah, I think he brought him. I think he was talking about him.
Yeah, Shola's my brother.
Yeah.
That's Shola. So when I think about where could I have been?
He's a game changer.
Thank you very much. So now that you know Shola, I know how Shola is living.
That's
right?
so funny.
That's so
Imagine
crazy.
when I'm frustrated in Nigeria and how I feel.
Yeah.
Hey.
When I have to follow a driver to check if he's stealing money from me. If Shola's driver doesn't come to work, they will send in 50 other drivers immediately.
Yeah.
Shola goes to any country in Nigeria, he has a car and a driver as he needs.
Yeah.
With security. Right? That's my level. And I was bloody good at marketing when I did it. It's not like I was, If you actually, when he started marketing, I taught him the marketing he knew. He taught me process because he came from IT.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
Yep. 110%.
So why do you do it?
Love
The
of
love
the
of the game.
But when I see Shola today, he looks at me and goes like, man, dude, you made the right choice. I'm like, dude, are you serious? I look at you. He goes like, no, you guys. Because it's different. And I look at this differently. I saw something on social media where there was this guy on the street in New York and he was walking and they interviewed him and he said, so what do you do? And he goes, I'm retired. So the guy looked at him, you look like you're barely 40. He goes, spot on. I said, how are you retired? He said, I started this tech company so many years ago and sold it for a few hundreds of millions. And that was enough for me to live my life for the rest of my life. So I just retired. And that was it. I'm just like, if he puts $1 million every year
compounding for
the next, say, 60 years he wants to live on it, he's fine. So he can just easily be eating his money. Inflation doesn't take your $1 million to 200K.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, inflation will take your 200 million naira to 20 million naira.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like in the slap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you understand? And that's what happens in Nigeria, but it doesn't happen over there. So he's probably making smaller money, but he really doesn't need the money and he's retired. So he now said that he realized that money is a tool in which you use to buy your life
Back. Time.
because you are buying time. Money and time it is. So when you go on vacation, you just bought yourself 2 weeks back from the world. So that's for you. After that, you go back and grind for the next time you want to buy back from life, right? So for me, that's exactly that's my consolation, right? I've bought time back by doing what I want to do. That's why I can come and do this interview on a working day at this time.
Yeah.
That's why I can go for my daughter's choir practice at any time. Do you get what I mean? So I can be there for family to a large extent. I can do what I want to do to a large extent that doesn't necessarily have to be like, oh my God, I want to take another excuse and take this. For me, that's apart from the fact that I actually love what I do. I love what I do insanely. Like if I wasn't doing fashion, I would be in fashion. Do you understand what I mean? So that's my consolation. And I've seen it. You know, I've seen it in different places. I've seen people actually give me things because I am Mai Atafo that do not have to give me. It's not like they have. You know, little examples of them going like, my daughter's interview to secondary school. Once they put on the video camera, it was a virtual call and they saw me and they said, are you the designer? Yes. She got the admission. They didn't have to, the whole character check was procedural because they could tie it to somebody in society. You know, I had a leaking in my house. I called somebody, sent somebody to me. The guy came, boss, now you are, yeah, I'm you are. He did this whole check with all these machines and everything. I'm like, so how much is it? He said, no, sir, I cannot afford your suit, but let this be my contribution to your brand. I'm like, wow.
Impact.
So these small things actually do pay. And he told me, this is what you need to do. I don't do that part. But once you do that part, we need to seal this place. Let me know. I'll come and seal it. And I dug the whole thing. I removed the towels and called him. He called this guy. They sealed the whole thing. How much? He said, boss, the next one pay me, but this one, I contribute to that. I feel honored to have done that. I'm like, damn. You know, so I get those small benefits here and there. You know, I want my daughter to walk into a room tomorrow and says her name and they're like, you did designer's daughter, yeah, then she gets a free pass.
Yeah.
You know, so that's transgenerational. So I don't have to build it in hard currency. I have to build it in equity. I have to build it in kindness, you know. Whatever I need to do, I will do. You know, that's why my relationship with designers these days in this country is, you know, we are really cool. The ones that we are cool, we are cool. Like we are looking at numbers, looking at books, looking at strategies, looking at, dude, you copied me there, but not vex now. You know, like down to that kind of level, you know, kind of cool.
Yeah.
So there's some people that interned with me, they're really successful. When I call names, they're like, they worked with you. I'm like, yes, they did work with me. And when I'm doing my shows today, they are the people doing running for me backstage and they have their brands, established brands. They want to do it. For me, that's the reward. That's the reward. So I probably would not become a billionaire from what I do, but you know what I mean?
Oh, you're a billionaire in other ways, though.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's not in currency.
Yeah.
So I tell people like I probably will never have a private jet in my life, and I'm ready to live with that fact. You know, I probably will not be able to live in Banana Island, own my own house. I'm ready to live with that fact. You know, and that makes me content, right? Am I comfortable? Yes. Can you afford to do what you want to do? Yes. If you had to get this, can you get that done? Yes. Okay, so you're good. The other things are, you know, nice creaming on the cake and all that, you know. But Shola is always my mental gauge to say, if it's not worrying about this, I should put systems and processes in place so I do not have to worry about this. You know, so instead of getting envious and jealous of me, which I am, by the way, it's a case of let me build something that, you know, I can go and do breakfast and I know this is running. I can go on vacation for 3 months and I know my business is going to run. That's why I don't think about ready to wear. It's like forefront in my head and I'm trying to really push that. And that's the next thing I want to do.
You know, I want we're about to transition to our rapid fire segment where we talk about, we ask you the first question and the first thought that comes to your mind, that's what you give us.
Okay.
But before that, you know, I got introduced to the fashion industry, but one of my friends, Ibi Kuki, works on Fitted. I think that's
I know him.
Yeah, Fitted. So
yeah,
I think what I want to get is your thoughts on the role technology can play in facilitating the fashion industry. I think with his, it had to do with measurements and then, payments and all that type of stuff. So in your experience, what have you seen in the technology space that you're like, man, because even in the US, there are a lot of them coming out now. They're like, oh, you can measure, AI does this, blah, blah, blah. In your own context, if you were to, again, unlimited funding, and not just manufacturing, but technology, what would you build that would be helpful to not just you, but to the grand majority of designers and also even the tailors as well?
Yeah, I think it would. By the way, what IB is doing with Fitted is amazing.
Yeah,
I think it was his monetizing process that I disagreed with. He also wanted to hold your data.
Data in what sense from the customer?
Like the measurements.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like, no. I'm like, if you're going to use it to serve me better, yes. Right? But I don't have it and you have it because I couldn't get it. I could retrieve it, but I couldn't get everything in my hard drive for tomorrow. That was number one. Then he was doing a subscription. Then he also went to get a proceed from the sale you made that was tied to fit. And like, guy, come on now. Pick one, So I don't know how far he has gone with it, but the tool looked like it was really, really good at a point in time. It's come several times, so I have to have a conversation, but yeah. So, Ivy, if you're watching this, maybe it's time that, we have a conversation again. Yeah. So in terms of tech, the whole AI measuring to garment is something that I think will be amazing. So I've made my garment. I've done the proportion to a size 8. All right? If you're a size 12, your height, weight, and everything is taken and the picture is taken, it should literally instruct me on how to replicate this for you in your body.
Yeah.
But you get to see it first before you order. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So literally you're shopping on the website, boom, 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 you send it, I like the dress. Okay, I want it, but first of all, I'll go through this process. Boom, scan, dun, dun. This is exactly how you look on you before you make the engagement. So that way, whatever I make, I'm not saying, oh, make it tighter, make it this. So like, make it tighter on yourself. Like, oh no, this is not nice. Because that's what happens to us. People like, with brides a lot. When they come to their fit and their dress is long, they're like, I love it. Okay, now we have to, don't cut the length. You can't walk. No, I will manage. I will kick. On the wedding day,
Shake Pro Max.
They are packing clothes in front of them. It doesn't look as nice. Someone's insulting the designer. But the designer said, let's cut the length so you can walk. Now that I've said this, go and look at brides. They're always stepping on their garment. Many of them, not all of them. A lot of them do that. So that kind of tech would be amazing for me or for I think anyone in fashion, whereby if you can even translate to a pattern, then you just literally cut and stitch it real quick and stuff, and it goes off. That'll be great. AI cannot give you human beings to try out the clothes. That would have been fantastic. But after you produce, but that can't happen. So I think that level of tech would and I think we're almost getting there because I've tried to use one or two, but they've not given me what I wanted because the gap between your measurement digitally and how the garment should fit on your body,
like
understanding your body nuances and stuff is not being cracked. So there's still a human element. When human beings stand, you probably stand slouching or handbag. But when you're doing your fitting, you stand upright and straight throughout the fitting. But when you now get it and you wear it, you're like that. So it does not sit well on your body like that. Well, this guy didn't do this shoulder where he did it well, but that's how you stood when he was fitting you. So there's still that small gap, and that's why it doesn't work for someone like me that does bespoke. It doesn't work for me like that. So that'll be something that I would love. Then on the other hand is now the sourcing. Literally, I want to buy crepe, and I go to this app and I put crepe, and I get vendors. So there's a 5-star vendor for this quality, the 3-star vendor. So the guys are overpriced and funny. You would just know because they would have the rating. So if you go to fight you on Instagram, I just give you a bad rating on your fabric quality and stuff. So I can now deal with that. That would help me because Yaba market is a jungle. And the guys that sell fabrics to you sell with their mouth. So in my early days, I fall for that. But now if I go and sit here and say, I want this, and go, oh God, this one go work. This one, I'm like, guy, really? Have you sewn the garment with this and no work? They keep quiet because I know what works and doesn't work anymore. So that kind of rating, like something like a small Uber for
Reviews.
Yeah, reviews on suppliers and stuff. So it would work for them and it wouldn't work for the ones that are being dodgy. That would be amazing, if there was something like that. That's off the top of my head. Those two things would change the scope. Then, in terms of even starting a business in Nigeria, if there was literally a tech that could journey you through based on other people in the industry's experience, like, okay, I want to start a custom made line like Atafo, and this is where I am right now. It will just craft you your journey, pitfalls you should watch out for, blah, blah, blah. Then you can now go and, okay, yes, let me go head on and face this demon, or you know what? Adios, nice one, back out, and I go, because I keep saying this thing. If it is me today and I had to start fashion, I wouldn't be a designer.
What would you be?
I'll be a fashion influencer.
It's fashion influencer.
I mean, you can still do it.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, when I started, there was no Instagram. There was Instagram then. I didn't want to make clothes for people. The only way you could express your fashion creativity was by making the garments.
Yeah.
Then, because there was no other outlets. Now you have numerous outlets. You can just be talking about it from what people are doing. You can actually. So for me, I love to wear clothes. I love to look good. I'm vain as hell. So that would have worked for me. Just make the clothes and wear it every day. Take pictures, pose, and tell people stories about it. And I'll be more than fulfilled. I would have kept my 9 to 5, probably be Shola right now, but be influencing for, Armani and Gucci and whatever the case was. But it's just time changes things. Technology changes, advancement changes things.
Yeah.
So I believe that even for someone that's meant to start out today, you now have other areas to play, apart from struggling to be a garment manufacturer.
Yeah.
Because even Nigerians, even fashion is still, I still believe it's kind of wrong, because we're still trying to be garment manufacturers rather than be designers. But the cost to do that properly is also a heavy cost. For people to produce in Nigeria, but sometimes the quality of the work is a problem. Those production houses that you outsource to. Yeah. Sometimes it's still a problem, but you have chosen to face that demon. So face it. Don't let it be my problem at the end of the day, So if I had that's exactly what I would want to do with tech off the top of my head. And I think that would help drastically, And in terms of fashion, we still have a big, in terms of information sharing and gathering is terrible in fashion in Nigeria. I think even on the continent. Like people will say, oh, Lagos Fashion Week and blah, blah, blah. Man, they are doing amazing for what they can do.
Yeah.
It's like, before you hit them, give them credit.
Yeah.
It's cliquish. Same designers are showcasing. It doesn't get across to everybody. If the Lagos designers had to do 300 fashion designers, but we had Lagos Fashion Month. Because there'll be designers to showcase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who's going to pay for Federal Partners to tell for a month? Do you get what I mean? Who's going to do that? And I think they celebrated 15 years.
Yeah.
They used to have a program which they now turned into another program, but then it was for young designers, and they'll take 10 designers. You get to showcase.
The green access.
Access. Now they still pick you to showcase. They to give you a winning, $1 million. Even when we're showcasing for the first year, I said, you want $1 million, you're richer than me. There's even showcasing. But if they had 10 designers for every single year and they kept those guys in their roster, they have 150 designers to showcase in Lagos Fashion Week. It's impossible. Just even going by that calculation. And if you show 70 designers in the Fashion Week, man, you've overdone yourself. You've outdone yourself. But that's one platform.
Yeah.
So, and all of us want to be on the platform. It's going to be difficult for them. They can't even control it. It's a monster at this point in time. So in my head is, how do we support this platform rather than say, you are doing this, you are doing this, you're doing this. I mean, they have their own flaws. They can step up in some areas and stuff. But there's budget. when they did it I think the best time when they did it in the Co-Atlantic, access was easy. I mean, if you didn't have your car, it was tough, but that was a big tent. You could drive in. There was literally no traffic. But getting to Federal Palace and getting out of Federal Palace Hotel is a problem.
Yeah.
But give them an alternative venue. They can't pay for a hotel. It's bloody expensive. When I paid for a hotel then, even if I got a huge discount, the first bill that came to me was 30-something million naira for 2 days. Now it's probably double that amount of money. How much clothes do you want to sell to do that kind of show?
You'll sell clothes that.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Even with the young designers doing their own standalone shows right now. And I tell people, you can do the math. It's easy. If they have 30 models at minimum times 100K, right? That's the first things first that you do. And the 100K is, some designers are even paying 50K and begging the models, which I think is wrong. Do you get what I mean? Some models are doing it for free, which I think is wrong because they want to get the spotlight, right? But if you do 100K, times 30, that's 3 million naira, first of all, just for models. And 100K is small. We shouldn't be paying models 100K.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be paying 50K.
Yeah.
I'm saying this because some of us beg for 50K, it's hard on every level. But that's 3 million naira. Then you get your venue. If you're lucky, you get a venue for less than 20 million naira. That's 23 million naira. Then you hire the chairs. The lights, bloody expensive. Right? You do lights for, if you are lucky, you get 5 million. You do set design, spend on that 10 million. You do invitation, you do refreshments. So the average show you are seeing out there done by one person, and easy, 50 million has gone down.
Wow.
That's minus the clothing they've given to people to sit front row. You can tell I'm totally against that. But you know what I mean? It's like, it's a lot of money. And if you drive in Lekki, where most people have their ateliers these days, on the average a year, and even in Lekki is like 35 million naira now for commercial space.
Yeah.
Somebody has to pay. So it's like for me to do it well, I don't know last time you went to go and check out your designer in Ekpaja. You won't even rate the designer anymore. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I get that, and it's not like it's a bad thing or it's a good thing. It's like you're trying to push for something, And Lagos doesn't make it easier because we are if you're here, you're in this area, mainland island nonsense and all that kind of thing, If you're in overseas, everybody wants to be in Mayfair. If you're in London, you want to be in Mayfair. But if you're in Chelsea, you're not bad, Yeah. If you're any other place, it's not terrible.
Yeah.
People will still come to you to get that, But here, it's a bit like that. So we kind of like put people on this standard. We want this price, expect this expectation, and we don't want to worry if they are mentally balanced or not.
So figure it out.
And this is very, very peculiar to the fashion industry. So I see that a lot of young people every day, we have these conversations. You can see that they need a hug. They are breaking down. But it's almost like you chose this at the end of the day. So I'm not going to be sorry for you. But, let's be sorry for them just a little bit. It is tough. If I'm saying it's tough on me, you can imagine the other guy that just started out. How was he going to say? And even last, I want to chip this in because I'm on a platform. There's this whole thing of helping young designers, where I spoke to someone. She was, we're funding young designers, and I think they give a young designer, it was $5,000 or something. And I said, boy, why don't you give it to us now? She's like, you probably bigger than that. And I said, how much revenue do you think the average medium-sized designer is making a year? Ballpark figure. And she said, you guys should be calling maybe 2 billion. I'm like, we don't make that kind of money. She's like, what? I'm like, no, we don't. Now, if you want to build this industry, you have access to VCs and investors. Invest in the medium-sized businesses because now they've done the wrongs, they've corrected it, they know their trajectory, they know how to get it right. Help them get it right. So that is now more sustainable in the industry, right? Then now give them the mandate to fund the next set of young designers. They will hand select the brilliant ones and bring them to the front.
So it's like an accelerator.
Boom. Because they will know this one is ready. Yeah. This one knows what they are doing. This one can. And it's almost going to be a thing as if I was to do a program, if your mentees excel, you get to unlock another level of investment for yourself. So what do you need, Mai? I need $10 million. Great. Give me 10 guys over the next 5 years that can get to your level. For every guy, when we track that thing, I will start releasing your funds to you. So in the meantime, take this $100,000 and let's start the process. Oh, I'll do that because I want that. So that's the only way. Because when people say, oh, there's fund and fashion business and this and that and that. Then you come and say, this and that. I look for the top designers and they put it in Guardian newspaper and tell me to apply. Then I said, I'm doing a terrible job if you can come and meet me and tell me to apply at this point in time in my career. Because you should be able to identify the top designers in this country. You should be able to approach them based on pedigree and say, we have this fund. But whenever they have a fund, there's open application.
Yeah.
So that tells you it's dodgy. Because if you're trying to look for people to play for the Super Eagles today, you won't say, come and register and play for the Super Eagles. You will scout. You will know who is where. You will go and look for a Super Eagle player in Uzbekistan and bring it to the national. How do you find that person? So when it's time to give out funds, you act ignorant. But when it's time to be smart about it, you know when to be smart about it. So I'm like, let us now become an industry that is sustainable. Let us be the banking industry. Let us be able to hand over from Jim Ovia to the next set of person. Let us be a GT bank, right? You already have the guys that are there. So just build it this way. Because what we need right now is business support. We need manufacturing support. We don't need design support. We need all the other things. Then we can now start pushing. So we cannot start having creative directors. Nigerian fashion designers don't have creative directors. We don't. This year's in my 16th year of doing this thing full time. I cannot hire a creative director because there's no pipeline for that guy because he's already doing his own. Tiffany Amber is 25 years. She doesn't have a creative director. She's still doing it. Is it that she doesn't want? Of course she wants. But do you have the pedigree to understand what it is to do? It's another problem. So the pipeline is not even there. People are still using their outlet is being a designer rather than working for a designer. Somebody say, I'm ready to work. When you now tell them, it's not about designing 10 pieces in 2 hours. It's about designing 2 pieces in 2 weeks that will sell. Give me a dye lab and make boo-boo ridiculously cool again and sell quantity. Can you do that?
I want to talk about why aunties are so important to African history. Aunties represent curators of the African experience, and oftentimes they have been unacknowledged. They have literally held our archives before there were archives. They were literally institutions before we had institutions. They held so many important cultural artifacts, such as the way we braid our hair, the recipes of our cookings. They represent abundance. There's literally a reason why we call an African culture rich aunties. And we believe that with partnering with Anthony, we're able to showcase this type of history through art. So to connect to African history and get a piece of the Anthony and Afropolitan collection called Auntie, make sure to click the link in the description. And this is your way you can support our channel.
So we're going to transition to rapid fire.
Oh, rapid fire. Then we're ready for this one.
Don't worry. We're starting easy. A Nigerian artist you'd love to build a fashion collaboration with, like a real capsule collection.
Damn. You see, I always think I'm ready for these things and you hit me and I'm not ready. Rema.
Ooh, awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
If
I should have
Atafo
been
could,
whiskey first, but Rema.
if Atafo could dress one global figure, living or dead, head to toe, who?
One
Global figure.
living or dead,
Yeah.
head to toe. Whew. Michael Jackson. His sartorial style was impeccable. He slipped a lot of people, but his suit game was hard.
Yeah.
You said a mindset is more important than a skill set. What's a mindset you had to unlearn?
I don't know if I'm phrasing it right, but it's entitlement. Honestly, nobody really cares about you but you.
Savile Row or Italian tailoring? Gun to your head, you can only reference one for the rest of your career.
Jesus Christ! Damn, this is not rapid. Let's pause.
Let's think about it.
Because I don't want to do what I say both. Oh. I wonder why it is doing this to me. Italian tailoring. God, that was difficult.
Why?
What?
No, you got to break it down because people would know.
Whew. Okay. Savile Row, the English tailoring is more structured. Strong shoulders, rope shoulders, strong chest and everything. They kind of claim it makes you a man's man.
James Bond.
Do you get what I mean? Yeah, James Bond. They get most of their thing comes from the military. So it's like structured man, You have a slopey shoulder, you got a broad shoulder, you got a strong chest, you got all that and going on. Italian tailorer says, how do you want to live your life? You want to sleep in a suit, we'll make it for you.
Wow.
Make it as soft as you want to make it. You want to make it comfortable, make it comfortable for you. So literally, why the Englishman is saying, put the shoulder pad, you say, we're taking off the shoulder pad, you don't need it. Be relaxed. Right? You don't have to pump your chest up. Just relax. You want to live in your suit from morning to night? Take out the chest pad, take away the canvas, relax a little bit more. You want more movement? Make it Neapolitan. We'll put pleats in your shoulder so there's more room in your fabric for you to move around and stuff. Right? So you can see why it can be hard.
Because you like the combination of the both.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And I do that in my tailoring.
Yeah.
So this jacket is half lined, so there's no lining here.
Yeah.
Which is more Italian,
Yeah.
but the shoulders are strong.
Yeah.
Because I believe that should what you run on the double-breasted.
Yeah.
So people mix things up these days, but if I have to live with one, man, I want to be able to sleep in a suit if given a chance.
Okay.
Yeah.
The tuxedo or the jacket? Which invention are you proud of?
This guy researched me.
Yes, we did. We have lots of details.
Question again.
The tuxedo
Tuxedo, yeah.
or the jacket? Which invention are you proud of?
The tuxedo.
Okay.
The tuxedo I'm very proud of.
Now, the last one, I saved this one for last because me and you are in the same trauma. Manchester United, why do you do this to yourself?
Bro, I'll blame it on my late dad. And I'll tell you the story.
Yeah.
When we were young, in the 80s, my dad went to study in Manchester. And my dad went abroad, left for us. That was the coolest thing. And there was a picture of him with Go On at one point in time. So like my dad was just cool and everything. So when I had the chance to go and study overseas, I went to London and I was studying City University in London. And football culture will grab you. And I had to support the team. And I looked around me. I lived in Woolwich, just shouting there. Nothing was happening for them. It was Arsenal that people really liked. And I was like, oh yeah, Daddy schooled in Manchester. Manchester United.
Yeah.
Let's go. And I think that year or the next year we won the treble. So I knew I was in the right team.
Wow.
Then I come back home and I see my dad. And we had this conversation. Like, Daddy, man, decided to join the team. I decided to join your team, And I thought that, that would be the way to do homage to you and where you studied and everything. He said, oh, so you're supporting City.
What? His club was Manchester City?
I said, no, Manchester United. He said, no, I supported Manchester City. Manchester City was the club. United wasn't anything at that point.
Really? In the 80s? Well,
I'm like, there you have it.
yeah, it worked out for you.
It won't be a good time to change when we're still winning. You know what I mean? So I stopped. So now that we're losing, we have to go through the pain.
It is what it is.
So, yeah. So Manchester United for life. Even though my voice is shaking as I say.
I did want to ask, with the sewing machine, especially, your mom's sewing machine, was she upset with you when, you would maybe break some of her stuff, or did she just encourage you?
Oh, my parents were very encouraging.
Yeah.
Very encouraging. I think that's why we managed to become creative in my family. My younger brother flips houses in Canada. Now, everybody's into fashion one way or the other. My late brother was one super creative guy. He could do stand-up comedy for hours without getting paid. His job then was to go to anywhere there was a comedian MC, sit right in front of the guy. intimidate the guy so much with side comments till they go, if you are so good, take the microphone, and he will take the microphone and give a better show than the comedian.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think it was just them going like, do you? There were hints, I want you to be a doctor, but they let you express yourself. I think that went a large way to where we are. And I think they started doing a lot later. Again, they didn't have the financial way to actually support that dream because I wanted to be a musician. And I always asked for a guitar. And there was no way Abiodun was going to buy me a guitar because he couldn't afford a guitar. But yeah, I think to very large extent, they actually let us do it. So when I had to leave my job to do fashion full time, I had to technically explain it to my mom how I had potential to make money because she was just scared of my future. And she asked my wife, is he making the right decision? And when my wife said, yes, it's okay, then I think she was cool with it. But yeah, they gave us room to play.
You know, your name, Mai Atafo.
Oh, wow, this guy went
Hey,
in.
listen.
Mai Atafo
means God made me perfectly in Edo.
Yes. Yeah.
When you were growing up as one of 9 children in a family where everyone was competing to look good, did you feel perfectly made, or did that confidence come later?
Oh, I felt perfectly made. I thought I was the coolest kid when it came to fashion. Every other person was good at that time. They were great in football and this, but when it came to fashion and creative generally, I loved to cook. So I would cook, happily and do things. So I was the guy that made the stir fry, the fried rice, the moi moi. So Christmas, my mom was like, okay, you moi moi, stir fry, this, that. You go and do pounded yam. That was definitely not me. Stuff like that. I came from a big family. So yes, I had a negotiation with my mom. I think when I was it 6 or 7, that I know what is under the Christmas tree is what I'm meant to wear on Christmas Day. But please, can I choose it? And I promise I will act surprised when I open it. And she let me. She let me. But the funny thing is that we come from a large family. We're 9 of us. So it was 2 boys, a girl. Then breaking it the way they do it. Then 3 boys. Then 2 boys, then the girl. I didn't say 5 boys. I said 3 boys and 2 boys.
Yeah.
So the 2 boys were called the big boys. The 3 boys were called the boys. Then the other 2 were called the small boys. That's how we're broken down in the family. So when Memo goes, the boys, we know who's coming. Call the small boys, the other 2 are coming. Call the big boys, the top 2 were coming. And that was the breakdown. But I always was sure that my fashion game was, and my elder brother, Olumide, who's the second boy too, his fashion was impeccable. So he was the only one I would look at. And from then on, it was like, I'm going to, and I love to do my own thing. So when people felt like this was not right, I'm doing it. So it was always cool. My name was definitely made for me. I always waited for that for an opera interview to explain Mai Atafo means God has created a beautiful human being, a perfect human being.
It's an amazing name.
My grandmom hit it out of the park with that name. When she told me the meaning of the name when I was growing up, I was like, damn, like, that's good because it's also literally because Ohi is God. Mai is made or well made. Me is me. Fo is finished. So it's literally what it is. So my surname Atafo means we are done talking, like end of discussion.
It's done.
Ata means to talk.
Yeah.
And Fo is finished, just like in my name. Yeah.
I love it.
The name was my grandmother gave me that name, and I think she nailed it.
Yeah.
She did. Wait, actually, before we get to my last question, I have to ask, who's your favorite designer, Nigerian designer, outside of yourself?
Say very. Ooh, we are shaking tables.
Okay, wait. You can dim one female, one male.
We are shaking tables. I don't like this. Ooh, man. I do not have one favorite.
Okay.
Let me just put it out there right now.
Give us some.
So I'll give you a few, and I almost justify everything I'm giving to you because of what it is. But for the guys, which is quite interesting because you have guys doing menswear, women's wear.
Yeah, so maybe the structure, like the actual, it doesn't have to be female or male, just the designer themselves. That's what I mean. Sorry. Let me clarify.
So For me, a man making clothes. Who is my favorite man making clothes as a Nigerian designer?
Yeah.
Oh, God, man. Jesus Christ. This person is so hard. I'm thinking myself as a consumer, will I buy the clothes or do I just love the aesthetics? Do I like what they do? So it's different things.
Okay.
Man, this thing hard though. In case of what I like Ogomoyin. I think I just like the way he has elevated traditional menswear to just beyond what you just wear as stuff. So I like, and I would happily wear his stuff. That's on that way I used to assess it. Then in terms of how people play with things, I'm still on the menswear designer. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to call 50 people's name, but you will take it from me. Where people play with stuff and what they do. Emi Casbit, Adebayo Kalawa, Sisiano.
Yes.
Their interpretation of what they do for menswear is just something else.
I agree.
Right? That's what I say. So Sartorial, like what I do, Tayo Gabriels makes suits, and I would doff my head up to him any day. I think he's amazing. So that's that for that. Hey, women's wear. Let's sit down and look at this. In no particular order. Put that out there. Lisa Folawiyo.
Yes.
There is something that is very designer about that thing. It feels like you will save the money to buy one piece and you keep that one piece forever. And reference it to the year that you bought it.
I agree.
Right? Tiffany Amber. There's a certain level of I have arrived in life when I own a piece from her. And it feels like why Lisa Folawiyo can be the young new wife or the mistress of the big man or the daughter of the rich man, you know. Tiffany Amber gives me, I am the woman. I have my money. I am spending my money. Right. The very go-to, I've arrived. I am this. I have to have LDA in my wardrobe. It's Wembasi for a certain level of quirkiness and garment construction that you see nowhere else. Hands off. Right? Oh, God. Should I stop there? Because there are many more. Then I will now come to I won't call them younger, but the newer designers, right? Storytelling, staying in their lane, doing what they're doing and how they've pushed what they're doing. Michelle of Kilenta, Florentina of Hertumba, Jules and her crazy self.
This is Jules. Yeah.
There you go. It's like I've picked a signature and I have a thought process. So some of them, they've not even fully wrapped their head around what it is. I can even say that for maybe like Hertumba and even Kilenta, because I think it's way bigger than what they are doing. But they have that. And they're definitely holding on to it. And I appreciate them for that fire they do. I know there's a lot more, but on that level, I will leave it. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Actually, I have one more question, just because this is for me. Question I have: who is doing the minimalist designs? I feel like so many in Nigeria, it's like color, and it's like I've adapted to it because I have to. But like, if I tell you, everything I save is a neutral palette, minimalist. I'm just like, I wish I could find more.
No, they are.
I know there are, but I wonder who would you say that's like the tailoring, like the quality and.
I've not worn the dresses, so I can't.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'll say to a large extent, Naife.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
He's doing a great job with the whole minimalist type groove and stuff. This Is Us.
I have This Is Us. Yes.
They're doing a great job at that one too. Again, you see some of these designers start with what you're saying, but that's not where the market is. So they switch really fast. Because vibrancy is almost like the DNA of the average African. So you will switch and do that. But when you see where they come out initially, you can see some of these things in their DNA. Who else?
Wait, what about Vic Nates?
See, that's another person. That's another person that comes because it's menswear that does. But Vic Nate is not minimalist. It's just extremely sexy. It's minimal, but I see the sex appeal. So Vic Nate is like, if Vic Nate was in Europe, he'll be like the hottest designer for all the girls. He would do what Olivier was doing for the girls, but in a cleaner way. Because his pieces are simple in the eye. The construction is very interesting, but he just makes you hot. But you need to have that body to even pull off that piece that Vic Nate is trying to do for you. It's like, it should have a disclaimer that says the body doesn't come with the garments. The body is sold separately. Because his clothes are for the it girls with that body. And it's a slender cut.
Slender,
again. So he's not, I don't think, Vic Nate, it probably doesn't look at things with the Nigerian African eye or whatever.
He told me that one time. He told me that.
His palette is black. He tried to put color in his last fashion show. At the finale, the color clothes didn't come out. Only the black ones came out, right? Which I also think is a very nice way he expresses himself because his fashion shows are black. He can do them in other colors, but he puts it in black. Then you cannot decide, I want to do whatever color that he has available for you to do. But he is somebody at a very young age. I met him when I did a show in 2019. He made socks for me for my collection. That's how I met him. Amazing dude. He made socks for me for my collection. Because he had these socks he was making. I thought they were really cool. He was making other things, but the socks got me, and that's why I hired him to make them for me. And he charged me, and I was like, oh, boy, dude, this money is heavy. You know what he said? He said, well, you're Mai Atafo now. I think he was 18 or 19. Then I found that to be the cutest thing ever. You know, like, actually, I am Mai Atafo. And I paid him. It was cute because he was like, but it was almost like, because this is a young, naive boy, I would say then, looking at this big boss, I was like, why are you trying to price me? No, you're a boss. and I paid him. And he's always inviting me for his fashion shows since then. And I love the way he expresses himself, like literally collection number 1, 2, 3, 4. He has stuck to that. His expression visually is as international as it gets. He just dropped one intimate collection right now.
Yes, me and my friends on our DMs are like, release the full outfit.
That thing, even the way he tells the story is like, if I was to have a creative director,
it'd be him. That's why I brought up his name. I see
for like
you
where
too.
I'm doing with my women's wear and stuff.
I see you two doing something mad.
He will slaughter. There are a lot of people that would eye and say, oh, come and be creative director for Atafo. He's definitely one for that the women's wear. I know that he would do fire with. Fruche.
Yeah, that's fine. He's I love him. I love his work.
I was there. I was kind of like the people that spotted him at the Ferrous regional. I don't think he won. He didn't win. Yeah, his team didn't win. But I told him that day that if you ever want to do something with me, I'm more than happy. I've worked with his brother.
Yeah, they're both creators.
His twin brother, he's done a lot of things for me. Fruche has a certain kind of eye. And I think with these Nigerian designers, again, is that imagine if they had capacity and access to bring the madness in their head to life without hindrance. Yeah. Right? Because they have a lot of things that are stopping them to do what they want to do. It'll be ridiculous. Like Siciano with the story he tells of fluidity and flow with his garments. It's beyond the average Nigerian's comprehension. And you're trying to stay on that lane. Or bio, it's like, again, I don't wear the clothes, not because I cannot wear them. It's not my personal style, but I can see, Emmy Casbit, there are things it does with the local fabric that he also does with English fabric. It almost feels like I can give you ethnic, I can give you this, whichever way you want, and I got you covered with a little sartorius sprinkled on top of it, So I think there's talent out there. I didn't even call Bridget Awoshika when I talked about designers.
Yeah, I want to, like, I kind of feel like she went low key, but I love her work. I'm trying to
Funny
understand.
thing, we had a conversation last year, and Bridget is actually serving her customers.
Yeah, I heard that it's like very custom. That's what I heard.
She's good with that. You know, to a large extent, because I'm in that conversation we had. But it feels like, imagine if Bridget had the funding and the support to do diffusion ready to wear, where she doesn't have to worry about how the tailoring is going to come out. She has to just monitor the finished product and put it in the store and stuff. It would be a different conversation. And that's why these international designers are better than us, because all that dirty stuff is handled. They have the chance to dream. I want to do a fashion show and I want to do it in the biggest balcony under the Eiffel Tower. Come on, let's go. Do you get what I mean? You want to do it in Versailles. The budget is there. Pharrell wants to do it on the bridge. Take the money. You know what I mean? It's like, but we are limited to that. I'm not saying money pushes creativity. Like, it's not the starting point of creativity. Yeah. But there's a way it facilitates it to do a lot more. Because people have dreams. And when they tell me, so I sit down with them, when people tell me what they want to do, I'm like, that would be sick. But, where we want to do in Nigeria, just locations in Nigeria they want to do to tell the story. Where is it? Yeah. Where is it? I want to do a fashion show on Savile Row, and Savile Row will be my runway, and you see the suit shops left and right. Okay, let's do that in Nigeria. Okay, yeah. Good luck. It's not going to happen. Do you get what I mean? So I feel we are inhibited with our environment a lot. So when you see people go overseas and that's where they want to do their things, the environment is a bit more conducive. Yeah. So doing it as we do it here, to the level at which we are doing it, which is not even close to perfect, is like hats off. Yeah. When I say any designer that is doing something new and something different, and I'm just like, well done. People do not see the struggle and stuff. And it doesn't matter if they see it or do not see it. Know that some people see it. And when I see the designers, I see them, I'm like, oh, you did so and so and so. I know your brand. I do not know your face because you did. They're like, oh my God, I'm like, I do know. I consume fashion. Like, I'll be a perfect fashion editor. I mean, I did that when I worked for Genevieve magazine for 2 years. And maybe that's why I cultivated this thing. So it's beyond what I showcase. I have my own story. I have my own aesthetic. I know what I'm doing with that. But it's like other people's own, just even appreciate it. So we don't have people that review fashion well enough. For you to even start saying, let me even learn Nigerian fashion. So where do I go to? Let me listen to this person. There are a few guys. There's a guy called Black. Is it Kata or KVA? But he reviews fashion. He's doing a really good job, right? But the other day I had to tell him this thing, bro. You're reviewing Lagos Fashion Week. And you said the week did not start until you saw the first similarly couture out designer on the runway. And I said, you are wrong. You're biased towards maximalism now, all of a sudden. So what the minimalist that shows in the first few days, you didn't recognize them because it wasn't gang, it wasn't. But what you didn't do was settle down to understand what it is. Now, Lagos Fashion Week is letting retail brands show. Is letting couture brands show. One time they were even letting bridal brands show because there was no other platform. So if you are going there, you're seeing, I'm watching a ready-to-wear line right now. Understand that it's ready to wear. If this is high street, different things. So what you are assessing at the different points are different things. Not everybody will do what you have never seen before. People will do what you have seen before, but just in a different fabric or slightly different color or a slight different take to it, but it won't be couture level. Yeah. So don't make them look like you're doing something that is wrong. Because the guy will start thinking, I sold 3,000 Kaftan last year. And I put Kaftan on the runway, you're saying it's basic. And guess what? If you said that I sold 5,000 more Kaftan, so who's wrong, you or me? Do you get what I mean? So you have to understand where he's coming from. And if you're an editor or a fashion critic, you have to now be wholesome. Yeah. You have to, and I had this editor of this time. I told her she was like, oh, Lagos fashion is not the same way it used to be. I'm like, no, it is. The problem is that you grew with us when we were coming out then. We were the fire. Yeah. And you've grown with us. But you don't know the fire right now. And the fire is not catching you because you're not in the circle anymore. Yeah. It's catching the other guys that are on their level. So your job is to be able to appreciate the level they are at and see where they come. So the stitch will be bad.
Yeah.
But the creativity will be there. Because that's how ours was then when we started. The stitch was wrong. You know, the zipper was popping on the runway. All those things were happening. But you could say, this person is good. You know, now that we have advanced and we're now used to a more comfortable side of things where everything is perfect, you should still appreciate the imperfection in the one that is just coming up. Because is that encouragement that is going to make him better than us tomorrow? And there are many of them like that. Do you know Mimi Castle? Mimi Castle. Mimmi Castle. She makes suits.
I feel like I've heard of it. Yeah.
Nice suits. She interned with me. And she had two decisions when she came to meet me. Shut down the business was one, or three, go and meet my boyfriend in Canada, or go and do a master's degree or something. And I go, can we try to fix the shut down the business first and see where we get? But I asked that question. The poor girl had 3 different locations for her brand. Had some annoying tailors. She was doing many things, you know, shirts here, this one, that. And I'm like, okay, let's narrow it down.
Focus.
Now, what gives you the most money? She said, the suits I make for girls, like corporate girls and stuff like that. Okay, so we focus on suit. Let's slow down on the other things for now. When customers order, well, don't push. Do that. Okay, great. Your tailors, which one support you the most? Oh, the guy that does suit is really good. Oh, this guy's annoying, but he does this. Okay, now let's focus on the trouser guy and the suit guy. So we have the jacket and suit guy, so you have this. Okay, great. Excel sheet. Now let's look at your profit margin. How much do you make on this and this? Okay, do you know if you do this at this level, you will get that? So this is your new target. Keep this Excel sheet. This is the workload you're going to do. And she took that Excel sheet. She did the internship with me for 3 weeks. Said, let me go and try it out and see. I think like 2 months after that, our garment was on Dakori, a suit. And from that point on,
it just went up.
She's not making any of the other things anymore. She's making suits. Right? She moved from the mainland to somewhere in Osaka. Now she's in Lekki Phase 1.
Yeah.
Her business is huge. When I'm done, check out Mimi Castle.
Okay, Mimi Castle.
Her husband, her boyfriend, comes back to Nigeria. Starts to work with her.
So
that was the goal that she was getting to. He saw the potential in what she was doing. He decides to support her. He's a tech guy. Sits right next to our website, process order. They are working on those things together. Now become partners in the business. Get married. And as of December, they were blessed with twin girls.
Amen.
Wow, amen.
She is grounded and she's kicking it. They're one of those people that when I'm doing the show, boss, what are we doing now? They are fitting models with me. They're doing this, and she has a success. When I mean success, properly successful brand. Featured on Passion Blom Daily last week.
Amazing.
I need to check because maybe I do know. I feel like I consume so much, so maybe the name is not.
If you see it, you will get it. Mimmi, and Mimi is not Mimmi, and Kasu is KSU.
Okay.
She intended me. So it's like you get those things. So like, not everybody has me. Not everybody has a support.
Yeah.
I may not even understand your own kind of business. I mean, she was doing something close to me, so I can understand.
Yeah.
So it's like you have those kind of levels and things that work like that. There's a girl that also came to my masterclass. We had a conversation, and this. I was pointing out what she should do. This, that. Still doesn't have a website, which one of the things I told her had to do. Got a shop and everything. She called me 2 years ago and said I made a savings of 64 million naira.
Wow.
Savings.
I said savings. I said, no, you're wrong. What do you mean savings? Means that you have turnover, you have done profit, you have done on holiday, you have paid rent, you have done everything. What you have that you're not touching to support the business for next year is this amount of money. She said yes.
It's amazing.
I said, well done.
Yeah.
She's not a big designer.
Yeah. What about the Vicky James and like of the world as well?
I didn't talk those ones in my fashion scope.
Yeah.
That's a totally different world of creative people that are doing amazing things. The Vicky James, the Somo by Somo, Imagine by Bukola. I do Nupo, who also has a ready-to-wear line called Muye, with Afrocentric one that is fire. Right? Extraordinary Bride, who just opened one monster place right now for a business. They are on another level with the amount of craftsmanship that goes into the wedding dresses that they do is unbelievable. Like, I've been at weddings where I make one dress and one of them makes the other dress, and I've had to imagine my brother had to actually dress the bride up in her piece. Vicky James, my grooms are wearing, the bride is wearing Vicky James and stuff, and she's also my very good friend. So I've seen their work. So much so, it's quite interesting that I say this, like, Atafo Bridal, at a point in time, it was myself, April by Kumbi, Toju Foye, we're kicking this thing, and we just went like that. And this new crop of people, I mean, it was even before them. The Matokpedas came up and started kicking them. The Tobos came up, Marvi. They started doing like really, really
intricate
in bridal. But the tide started to change, because if we're not social media and engaging on social media, brides don't go to you because they want to be on social media. That's where I even lost the battle. Then now the aesthetic has changed to where it's now more beadwork.
Yes.
I don't like beadwork. So 8 in every 10 brides is doing beadwork. Right? So I'm struggling for the 2% by choice, because I do not want to go and recruit a manpower for something that I'm not generally gingered to do.
Yeah.
It will show in the work.
Yeah.
Right? And again, even for the ones that are winning right now, your aesthetic cannot be beadwork, because it's going to come and go.
Yeah.
So start carving out a house style for yourself. So when the brides are following the next trend of saying, oh, I want to be minimal, you can't just say, oh, guess what, we make minimal too. It's like, oh, guy, really?
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? But they are doing an amazing job that even the garments that they make can compete with anybody, Wisdom Franklin.
Yeah.
Sevon Delaja.
Yeah.
Dejana. Like, they are doing couture level. I need to call Marvi. Like, the things that they're doing. I'm sitting here thinking, like, you know what? We're just located in Nigeria. That's the problem. Because awards nights with Hollywood stars.
It's a global.
That's when you look at their red carpet and look at our red carpet.
It's the same.
There's no conversation.
Yeah.
That's why the biggest awards show, which is the AMVCA, I'm sorry if you come and say you are wearing one international brand, well, you carry last. Because first of all, your garment's not going to be as nice as the ones that are wearing the Nigerian designers. I think that's a real show of African designers, because nobody is wearing international designers. We're wearing African designers. And it's not because you don't have a choice, because that's the best way to express at that point in time.
Yeah.
That red carpet is fire.
Yeah.
You can feel it.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
In the maiden edition, in here, the one with a Florence gown and stuff. Yeah, great. Yeah, whatever. Do you know what I mean? But the Nigeria, all them tabik by this, and it's like they are making things that are proper next level. And when they start showing you how they come up with those things, even me, that I'm a designer, I'm like,
man,
what?
The pictures from the last one, I just kept on saying, if you didn't know this was Nigeria, you just think this is world class. It's world class regardless. But I'm like, too many times I see things here and I'm like, this is world class.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, whether it's because of our location and all the other things we have to struggle with, you're like, this can go head to head, toe to toe. Anybody you want to bring it next to,
any international. And I think that's the sad part of us not having a council. Because the CFDA's mandate is to push American designers. Period.
Yeah.
Right? When Tom Ford was the chairman, or president, I know what they call it, he was chairman. He was trying to push that they change it to American Collective, where as long as you're an American designer anywhere in the world, you are in the calendar and you showcase wherever you are. And you're part of the American Collective fashion show or whatever you want to call it at that point in time. That would have been major. Because now you start spotlighting people in other countries that have American descent, right? But I feel like that revenue did not come back to America. So that would have been like, so spotlight on them. But like they try to push their things. Americans are not the most creative designers. But with the way they're not the most creative in anything, but the way they sell their markets, is like bigger than what it is.
They're the most creative in that.
In the media space, they'll make you believe in anything.
Yeah, people still fight for New York Fashion Week. Yeah, even though you don't be seeing anything, but everyone fights to get there.
Yes,
it's
so
true.
If for any reason we had a council that said we want to push Nigerian designers to the next level, and we have the template or the platform, if we are in harmony in such a way that our musicians can actually carry our brands overseas. Like if Davido dresses in a certain kind of African-inspired way as part of what he is or who he is, that will sell. But if he's doing it now, he's actually just trying to do you a favor. Because it's probably not his style. He's not going to get paid for it. He's just doing you a favor. So when people are like, oh, it's not, I'm like, we have not won him over. If you win him over in what he wears every day, he will wear you. Do you get what I mean? If he went traditional outfit now, he won't go and get Christian Dior to make his traditional outfit with how much money he has. You know, he will still go local at the end of the day. So I feel like, sadly for us, when it comes to culture, things spiked and they carry the other things along. We are spiking in different directions, not coordinatedly, because it feels like what we now call culture it's inherent in our culture, but it wasn't together.
Collective.
It wasn't collective, even in the way we express it. So if I say Western music, you will see a flare jeans, you will see those Cuban heel shoes, you will see a cowboy hat, you'll see leather jackets, you will see this. So it's synonymous with it. So if you dress Western and you rapped, I was like, who is this guy? Okay, you know?
Different.
There is no representation for anything in Nigeria. If you saw someone doing Afrobeats, there's no way he would dress and you go like, this is an Afrobeat artist.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't, even the music didn't come from there. The music came from a mixture of Fuji and stuff, and it has refined. So it didn't carry a certain kind of culture with it. You know how Sunny Ade would perform and everybody is wearing Ankara and his band has a certain kind of thing. If that was such a cool trend, right, your backup dancers would be wearing Ankara to dance up behind you.
Yeah.
You know, but when it was evolving, those things didn't go with it. And again, because the Western thing actually just really, really slapped up on the face really, really hard. Because when you think back to music of the early days, be the Felix Liberty or the Chris Okotie, they were all trying to be American superstars.
Yeah.
You know, it was the few people that were singing local dialects and use American instrumentals and it would still be nice and go, okay, yeah, this person is kind of all right. But we all wanted to be Dinah Ross or Lionel Richie or Michael Jackson, you know. It wasn't really all. So people like Fela, oh my God, hats off to him that said, you know what, I'm going to do my own style. His outfit that had the embroidery was him. If you see that outfit today, you know this is Fela. You know? But you can't even say that for a lot of people. Be it Sunny Ade that just wore an agbada sometimes or what. There was no signature to those things. But then, I don't think that we thought it was so important to build the culture with our expression. We're just expressing. You know, there was no need to build. So, which I think the Americans did really well.
Yeah.
Hip hop has a culture.
Yeah.
It doesn't just have a music, it has a whole culture. You know, turning basketball shoes into fashion, what you wear on the regular day as fashion. You know, taking big ass jeans and making the waist small so that way it can be as big as it is. Because that's what the guys that were doing Kalkani did. They said, give me the biggest jeans, but I'll make the waist your waist.
Yeah.
And I guess wearing the big jeans and not being able to stay on your waist, probably what started sagging, you know, because it couldn't fit. But like, you know what? Let it hang, you know. Now we are sagging, and sagging has led to you getting trousers that has double bands now. Even in you know, number sartorial, you have trousers that have like 2 waistlines. You know, that came from sagging.
Wow.
Do you get what I mean? So it's like, whenever did you see this and this? It was when you saw underwear and trousers. So it's okay, I don't want to do underwear and trousers. I want to do trousers and trousers. So I give it a double band, you know. So things like that evolved, but it was part of a culture. But ours just went like, and didn't carry that. Trying to correct it now, it's like trying to fix Nigeria. And you know, I won't be the Peter Obi for that thing. You know, it's a tough one. So when people try to point fingers and say, oh, Nigerian artists are not saying, oh, this actor is a good actor, so they can go and watch the movie. It's like, it's not going to benefit him in any shape, form, or manner. Do you understand? We're going to start doing strategic meetings, say, Barnabas and the executive producer in the movie. We're getting more involved than being an executive producer. How else can you get him more involved? How else can you, even when you're telling your own Nollywood story, how do you use their music in a way that they're like happy they're using the music?
Yeah.
Not just an overlay. Do you get what I mean? Use in such a way that all of a sudden they are also seen on their platform that they're getting more streams because of what you did.
Yeah.
They'll give you an attention.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the way you should win people over.
Ecosystem.
Yeah. So I told Kemi, King of Boys, when Efemina was now becoming a fresh guy, should have been wearing Atafo. You know? It's like, my guy, you know, I think about it, but you now, you will say 6 to 8 weeks. I said, but Kemi, that movie, you planned it for 10 years. Then you shot it and you take another like 2 years for it to come out. Do you get what I mean? So you had the thought process, but you see, she can't think of me. Why she's thinking of like 22 characters and trying to give them 3 different lives.
Yeah.
She won't think of me.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So it gets to a point whereby we probably have to start small and move it and move it and move it. You know, but that conversation really needs to happen, and it has to happen from a point of let's help ourselves. Not let me help you. Let's help ourselves. Wedding party 1, I was a part of it. They came to meet me, had meeting with me. We sat down, spoke about how we want to do. I spoke to Adesowa. This gun I want to make for you. What do you think? She's like, oh yeah, cool. I said, okay. She now told me about long hours and shoot and stuff. I said, you know what? I'll make it a 2-piece. I'll make the corset and the skirt. So when you're not shooting, you can just take off that long skirt and just beat you. Say, man, thank you very much. I can wear shorts on that. Whatever. He said, oh God, thank you. Then she said, she was growing a natural hair and said, I really don't want to change my hair. You know? I said, oh, then we'll do a crown for you instead of doing a veil. We'll do a crown. Then for that person, we'll do a cape. That way the cape kind of like imitates a veil. Then your crown covers your hair and it looks like it's on. And she was like, oh yeah, cool. And I got the crown. That thing became a trend for the next 2 years for brides. Crowns and capes.
Yeah.
Go and check it out. Yeah. Crowns and capes became a trend for brides. And that was a partnership. And I remember Mo telling me, or this, that, I'm going to put your bag in a movie so people know. I'm like, that's nice, but you know what would be better? Me being in the movie dressing up the bride, because that's what we do in our culture. She goes, oh, okay. You're even a celebrity and you look good on TV too. Called Kemi immediately. Kemi go, mine's my guy now. I'll say less. Will happen. That's how I got written into the script.
Yeah.
And that's why if I present to you the future Miss Honor, that was my role.
Yeah.
And she came down the stairs. That was it. That's how I got into that thing. Part of, you know, partnership and saying this and this can happen. Now I'll tell you a good thing to show you, just in case people think I'm lying. If you ever have the chance to watch that movie again, wear Adesowa's cape tore. It was supposed to be her dress that tore. When she was taking the picture, there was zip, you know? And she went like, don't tell me that's my dress. And some Kele went like, oh, it's not that bad now. Last we'll cut and turn out to mini skirt. That was some Kele's line. The line didn't change, but it was the cape that tore. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
To tell you that happened after everything was done. Yeah. Because what we now did was that the cape tore, right? Not the dress. But the script was already the script.
Yeah.
So she said what she said in line with the script. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you go back and watch it, you realize that, oh my God, that was it. But that's the reason why that happened. So what I'm trying to say is that when there's that kind of partnership, when they were doing part 2, I got email. We want you to be part of it. Nobody called me for a meeting. Somebody was bigger than the other person. Then now they said, oh, we're going to give you end credits. Meanwhile, in part 1, they gave me advert time on the TV channel. At the premiere, they gave me a space to do a whole presentation. But now, part 2, new people came in. They didn't value the relationship and they were saying, oh, we'll give you end credit. The last time we did this thing, I got end credit. I got on-screen presence. I got this and that. How come I ever got a table at the premiere? How come I'm getting
end credits?
End credit now. So that's what we're offering. Okay.
No wala.
It go be. That's why I say it has to come from a point whereby we're helping ourselves. Because if you look at big movies, you talk about the set design, you talk about the costume in it. And it's like some of them lead trends. That's how Armani became who he is in America, from American Gigolo by dressing Richard Gere in American Gigolo. That's how Armani literally broke into the American market. And that's why he was one that had the most relationship with American celebrities. You know, Armani was the one that also did Untouchables with Kevin Costner. They did the workshop for the movie. That was his love with cinema. And that's where it started from. So it's like you can actually build this relationship, but the fashion in movies comes, Yolanda will tell you this story, it comes last. There's never budget, you know. So it feels like you're going to do all this work and it's not really going to benefit benefit you at the end of the day. What's the name? Adonis Creed. For Creed, it was Ralph Lauren. And at the point where he was, felt like in the movie where he wasn't having a fight with the other guy and stuff, he was driving, there was a billboard of him, you know, Ralph Lauren suit, and it was Ralph Lauren. Jason, that's how you make it happen. You know, he's driving and it's supposed to be a sober moment, but it's a Ralph Lauren billboard. It's a Ralph Lauren billboard. And when they had to leverage out on social media, the jacket he was wearing, the suit he was wearing, the label inside was for Adonis Creed, not for Michael B. Jordan. So it was for his character. So even in real life, it was still for his character. That's how you do end-to-end partnership that benefits everybody.
And grows the ecosystem. It's a platform at that point.
So, and again, you can go and meet somebody else tomorrow and say, I want to do this. This is how I want to lay the benefits out to you. A younger designer guy, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. I'm happy to do it. I've been fortunate because of my marketing background to be able to do such partnerships with people. So Big Brother and Ebuka, we are making like 7-8 outfits for him, the opening, the closing, and in between, and do that. And we tell stories with those things. IK, 10 years of AMVCA, I'm the only person that addressed him the whole 10 years. Interestingly, there were years I didn't get paid. But that's it. I stuck to it. Now I'm getting paid. Do you get what I mean? But they recognize the commitment to this thing. Same thing with Big Brother. You know, I'm getting paid. You know, we do a nice barter deal. That's the only way I get on national TV. Next to international brand advertising on Big, you cannot buy a slot on Big Brother now. You don't have that kind of money. Do you know what I mean? But I'm there. So I feel like it has worked in different, and that's where the benefit of my marketing comes in. So I tell people, you know, no matter where you worked before, you learned something and can definitely add to whatever you're doing. You know, it's definitely not a one tunnel thing. You know.
So the last question I ask every.
I'm enjoying this conversation. It's okay.
I know you're relaxed.
We can stay here the whole day. Maybe the 2-part show.
No, we'll probably have you back for sure because there's way more details in fashion we have to get into. But the last question we ask every single guest is, who do you want to see in that chair and whose story needs to be told on the Afropolitan podcast?
Ooh, you also do this on Instagram. I see people say things like, yeah, that'll be great. Shit. I want to say 2 people again, but there's something I want to get at with this one.
Okay.
I want to see a young performer's parent on the show. And I will specifically say Arya Star's mom. And I have a reason for that.
Okay.
Why she's the star. She started, first album was 19. Right? Someone gave her permission to do that. Someone didn't mind her 19-year-old daughter to be on TV. I mean, Arya Star's, we have a joke in my office. If we made a skirt for Arya Star, she would say, hello, is the skirt ready? We'll say, yes. Okay, reduce it by 3 inches. We say, no, but it's short. I know. Reduce it by 3 inches. You know what I mean? You know? And she's carried that confidently. The average Nigerian parent will see that on TV and go like, whose child is this? Do you get what I mean? That permission came from somebody. So, in as much as it's not the typical thing that we want to see, let's get the backstory of how guardians and protectors have managed to hold their people responsible whilst they shine. Right. And I'm saying Arya Star because she's like
an example,
the spice, you know. Queen Maddie's another one. Do you understand? A young girl and she's exposed. to what you hide your parents, your kids at that age from.
Yeah.
She's in the middle of it, right? So I want to see because I want to know how. Because I have a girl, I'm a girl dad. So it's like accepting it's like, it'll be heavy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I have a friend whose daughter's arrested as age. He watches arrested and goes like, hey. Then he says his daughter has a boyfriend. He's like, hey, what? I'm like, guy, calm down. You are watching Bloody Samaritan. You think it's a good song? I mean, great. Live conversation as well. But someone else I'd like to see on this show will be Don Jazzy.
Okay. You had that request. Yeah.
And I think it's just from his wealth of knowledge in the industry. Starting off of someone that was an instrumentalist and joining to an executive, being able to monetize his business to the point that it is. And he's still one of the only lasting indigenous labels in town, and still being very relevant in the music space and in the scene, being able to connect to the young ones as they come out, you know. Then from him being the producer, being the musician, you know, and all that, like that one is going to be a master class. They're probably going to MBA on how he did that, because I think that he's done an amazing job, which is generally always overlooked because of the kind of person that he is. So how do you do all that and still remain grounded? Because Don Jazzy just looks and feels, I mean, I know him personally, but he looks and feels accessible. He doesn't look like, oh my God, you are a star. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
He just feels like your guy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. So with that wealth of knowledge, that kind of experience and all that, and you have that all that running through it, I want to see a sit down with someone like Don Jazzy and just get into his head.
Okay.
For real.
We could do that.
I did have one more question, because as we've been talking,
I thought you were going to say fashion person.
No, I've loved this conversation so much. But I think this question came to me as we were having this discussion, and it's also what I felt the first time we met, which is why I felt safe even with my wedding and everything that went into with the outfit. Nigeria is a place that forces you to make compromises, right? Yeah. Sometimes you compromise on excellence, you compromise with mediocrity, but it seems like the more I observe you seem to maintain your values as you navigate the country. And I'm not saying that it means you're perfect, but you give off a feeling of preserved, like you know your value, you know your worth. How and what examples or what upbringing did you have that has allowed you to maintain your value despite a country that is looking to swallow it at every turn? What does that look like for you, and how do you grapple with it?
I think you just touched on it. Exactly, it's about upbringing. Yeah, and I did talk about your parents letting you do what you wanted to do.
Yeah,
right. But you know how to be within reason. Then there's something I learned a long time ago, which was contentment. Which doesn't necessarily mean you have it all. It means I'm okay. Right? And I'm okay if somebody even has more than me. And I'll root for you. Right? Then there's hard work, which you can't be ignorant. You have to see what the best looks like. And that should always be what is on the top of your refrigerator every day in terms of what you want to achieve. And because I'm not somebody that, sadly, I'm not someone that reads a lot. I hardly even read. I gain knowledge by assimilation. So I need to interact. I need to observe. I love to observe a lot. You know, I'm the one that will go shopping for 5 hours, walking into every single store and just observe. I don't know what I'm observing, but I'm just doing it because I know it will come to play later. And that's it for me. And I think it's all those things. I give myself principles that I live by and I stand by it. So things like, if it's not in your hand, it's not yours. Even if you have worked for it. As long as it's not in your hand and it's sitting, money, if it's not in your bank account, even though you've carried the whole building and say, I will pay you this amount of money, if I haven't given to you, you haven't earned it. So I always believe that the work of your hand will give you your money. And once you get the money, it is yours. If it's promised you, it's not yours until it is yours, even though you've earned it.
Yeah.
Which is a difficult thing for me to learn, because in the past, I've done things I'm supposed to be paid and I do not get paid. And I have to accept the fact that I'm not going to get paid. So I use systems and processes to ensure that I get paid. But even at that, I still am there that, if it not happen, it not happen. So if it's not that, it is. Then if something happens to you, right, that you think you may have been wronged, or you think it wasn't right, or you didn't deserve it, think, what if I'm actually wrong, even if we're not wrong? It will help you identify the little gaps that you need to fill.
Radical responsibility.
And it also have you manage how you get hurt. I lived in England for about 5-7 years. I would almost comfortably tell you that there was no racial discrimination towards me. But it's a lie. I didn't just see it as you being racist. So it didn't hurt me. So I do not understand what you're talking about. So your intention fell flat to my face. It's like, if we're meant to have a fight and I'm not punching back and you keep punching, we didn't have a fight. Do you get what I mean? Because you need me to fight back for you to fight even harder. But if I'm not fighting you, after 5 punches, you will stop.
Yeah.
Because I'll probably be on the ground bleeding, then you stop. I didn't have a fight. So I thought about that, and I like, because the first time a white person told me that they were racist to me, I was like, really?
They told you?
Yeah, that somebody was being racist to me. I went for an interview, and he got feedback. It was my recruiter. He said, "Oh, amazing! You're going to get the job." I was on oil company in England then and stuff. Like, great. I always started speaking to him and everything. Then he called me next week. I got in a letter. I said, no. He called me a week after. I said, I know. He went back, came back, and he says, I'm really sorry. This guy's just being racist. I'm like, oh, maybe I didn't do that well. He's like, no. Maybe like, no. I think you're just being racist. So that's the first time I'm like, oh, I built myself up so well that even when he's telling me, it's not even hitting me.
Yeah.
So those are the things I kind of like live by as a human being. It's like you don't get too comfortable. I always look at the flip side. I have a wall in my office where I have frames of my magazine covers. It used to be on the wall then, and I call it wall of pain instead of wall of fame. Someone said, why do you call it wall of pain? I like, everything you see was hard work to get to that point. So when I'm seeing that, I'm appreciating the hard work that I did. And I know it's going to be harder in front. When you give me an award, I tell you that it's a setup. It means I have to do better to get. I have to work 2 times harder to get another one from you.
Yeah.
So it's not about me going like, damn, I'm the best. It's like, oh, what am I going to do next? So I think the pursuit is a continuous one in my head. So I get pleasantly surprised when people tell me things like, oh, I watched this and it was amazing. I'm like, oh, I am genuinely grateful. Like, oh, wow, thank you. And I want to get that again and again and again. So I need to keep putting in the work, you know. So my lens to the world is, it's a totally different lens, So it also makes me very free. It makes me be able to do anything I want to do. I don't have to put a wall in front of me. I can tell you no comfortably. I can tell you yes nicely, and I don't feel any kind of way. If you tell me that you told me no because you were mean to me, I'm like, no. My dad used to say that God answers every single prayer. Every single prayer. The one from the thief, he answers every prayer. He just says no to some. Yeah. And when he said that, like, so no is actually an answer. Because when we get no, it's like, oh no, it's actually a good answer. I also say no gives you a chance for the right door to be opened for you. Because yes could just be the door that you need now. But no, we help you search for the right door, for you. Because, yes could be easy. But when I go into consultations with people or business transactions, I say, I can take no for an answer. So feel free. Yeah. If I'm actually to sponsor my show or sponsor something, I'm like, if the answer is no, You can tell me no hard feelings. I know how to take no for an answer. And you find out this person go like, "Oh, that was easy. Okay, not interested." Like, well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Rather than, okay, we'll see to it next week. Or we'll see to it the week after.
Yeah.
You know what? We're reviewing it because they do not want to tell you no.
No. Yeah.
So I know how to take no for an answer. It may be painful. I even got one recently, which was supposed to be a big one. It's supposed to be a subsidiary of the World Bank that's trying to invest in fashion in Africa. And I was already like top 10 to go. And it wasn't a no, actually. It was my turnover wasn't their benchmark turnover for the investment. Right? And I was like, oh, damn. And this was financial investment as a grant with support in anything you needed. They'll put business development guys on your back to get you to wherever. Like they're trying to make you the next designer brand out of the continent. And it was driven by a subsidiary of the World Bank. So you see, it was no kidding at all. And when they did that, I was like, it really hurt. But all of a sudden, the revenue that they said was their benchmark is officially my new revenue benchmark for my business. Mentally.
Yeah.
And you can always go back to them, right?
Yeah. Even if I cannot go back to them, they've given me something to pursue.
Yeah. Because benchmark.
Do you get what I mean? And that's what my takeout from it. Rather than going like, oh, they didn't pick me and da 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 da. I just like, no, you're not good enough because this is what they want.
Yeah.
So now go and get what they want. Now, in my process of getting what they demand or what their standard is, I may get something bigger tomorrow. I do not know.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, my takeout is that grow your revenue to this. So I'm sitting back going like, how am I going to grow my revenue to this point?
Yeah.
I may never have access to them tomorrow, but they have now given me a whole new challenge. What to do. And that's how I see. So there's always a silver lining if you look well enough. So it doesn't mean you don't get hurt. You get hurt. You get hurt. They're like, you know what? Let's go again. Let's go differently. Let's go this way. And that has helped me in my business. I've seen things from different angles that I didn't see before because I got a door shut at this point in time. I'm like, that opens this one. Okay. I actually do prefer this door than the door I was chasing.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So, and that's it for me. So being grounded, and all that just really helps my focus. And honestly, it may sound like I'm a superhero, and I hardly do this, but I give a lot of credit to my wife. Yeah, like a lot of credit. And I saw something on social media that crowned it the other day. There was a lady that was saying that as a woman, you have a role to play in the family to your husband. No matter how useless he is, he's good for something. And our analogy was that if it's raining, your husband is the umbrella. Means that there's a possibility that he is useless for many days when there's no rain. But once the rain starts, he's the umbrella. Right? Now, he may have a small umbrella and the rain could still touch you. That is his capacity. But it also shows how much you have supported him. And that's the kind of umbrella he has. Now, you may want a designer umbrella that is way bigger. That means you have to support even more or be absent even more because you have to shut your eyes to nonsense, right? So she says that the best wives, right, are the right arms to hold the umbrella that the man has created. Right. And I sent it to my wife and I said, thank you for being a very supportive arm to my umbrella.
Amen.
Because she gets it. So it's like, I'm going to hustle for something. She's like, oh, what are the dates? She reminds you, oh, you have an interview today on that podcast now. It's really none of our business.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? But she understands when you're going to hustle. If you are working late, you are working late. She'll say, do you want anything for dinner? The kitchen is about to close. No, there's nothing for dinner today. Okay, great. That's fine. Those kind of things. Oh, I can't cook today. Get something for me. I'll get the thing. So there's that thing that makes you feel like, I do not want to fail you because you have given me this space to go and grind. So it's almost like a burden on me. And I won't fall your hand, don't worry. So it's like when I'm working, I'm not thinking that, oh my God, I'm tired. I'm like, this woman gave me room to breathe. Though. I can't go back home and say there's no money. Because she was giving you, because I've seen people and their partners going like, oh, you're traveling again. Okay. Meanwhile, it's the hustle.
Yeah.
For this fine car that you have and this great house that you have, So sometimes I even question it like, do you really understand? I had to find explaining to her like, okay, by the way, that thing I'm going to do in this thing is like, no, I get it. Because sometimes the yes comes easy, but she gets it and she lets me grind. And when I'm also messing her, she's like, you're slack, this thing is not happening and this. I'm like, I'll get to it. So those kind of things actually do help a lot, She walked into the office a few days ago. I was taking a nap on the sofa and she banged in and like, oh, sorry, and she chilled for a while, then left. The next thing she sent a message like, oh, you want me to send you anything to eat so that you can remain in your relaxed position for a bit longer? You know what I mean? It was like, yeah, I'm fine. Or she was like, oh, what did you eat that knocked you out? I'm like, no, it was rice I ate. So I didn't know. It's like, okay, do you want anything? I'm like, no, I'm fine. So, okay, fine. But it's like someone acknowledging that,
Understands,
and that has given me room to fly, and I'm not the most strategic person. That's why I'm terrible at being public speaking. You know how public speakers will tell you that they can crystallize a principle to you. I don't know how to do that. I said a few things and you told me what the principle was, but I don't know how to do it. I go round and round when I do what I do, right? She understands the principle. Yeah, so she'll just say, oh, what you're trying to do is this, that. I'm like, hey, what's that again? But that's what you do. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I do. Yes, because I just absorb and I put it into business and stuff like that. So she's definitely a saving grace.
I love it.
Plenty.
Thank you so
Mai,
much.
thank you so much.
Thank you very much.